And with the lineup cards exchanged, Fighters girls are going to get us set up here for the Midnight Matinee. Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to Escon Field, Hokkaido, for tonight's game between the Hokkaido Nipponem Fighters and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. For those of you who have been with us for a while, you will remember this is a repeat of the first live stream from 2023, the first one that's actually still available on the archives here on the Pacific League English YouTube channel. You'll also remember it was Kotaro Kiyomiya's walk-off single that handed the home club their win. The first win in this ballpark. And we have it captured here on YouTube. Miracles of technology. Shun Mizutani swinging a hot bat. 1152 OPS over the last month. Tatsuki Mizuno getting loose and limber to handle the shortstop position. See the home club Fighters getting loose and ready to roll. Also ready to roll, us in the virtual announcing booth. Gabe Lerman here, along with Jimbo Bernicki. Jimbo, how you doing?
I am doing terrific, and man, I cannot wait for this game. You see here with that beautiful opening shot we got there of the cheerleaders in the Hokkaido Escon Field, the best ballpark in all of Japan, not even all of the world, as far as I might say. I am super excited for today's game today.
I mean, I keep saying it's what Globe Life Park in Arlington was supposed to look like. And it's not that far off. There's the defensive alignment for the hometown Fighters. In the outfield, Yuki Nomura in left. Kota Yazawa in center field. Shun Mizutani in right. On the infield, we got Kotaro Kiyomiya over at third base. Tatsuki Mizuno at short. Kazunari Ishii at second. Yuya Gunji at first. Yua Tamiya behind the plate. Kota Tatsu on the mound. And Franmil Reyes, the Franimal, designated hitter for tonight's game. As we hear Malachi Evans, the PA announcer for the Fighters. I think he also works for the baseball team, or the basketball team up in Sapporo. At least I know he's a DJ. You can follow him on Instagram. Talk about a big voice for a big stadium. I am envious of his tone.
Insofar as a big team here, the Fighters are the #1 team in the Pacific League at the moment. The Eagles sitting outside the playoff spot, but they are still sort of in contention in a broad sense. They've got a lot of talent and a lot of potential, and let's see if we got a good game going on here today as we have the ceremonial first pitch here.
Another distinctly Japanese trait. Batter in the box for the first pitch. Catcher behind the plate. Both mascots will give their call. Oh, it's an ephus, and he got a swing out of Nakashima. Impressive work there. Big hanging curveball from the first pitcher.
The starting pitcher, if you will.
Yeah, if you will. Kota Tatsu on the bump for the Fighters. This is his 6th start of the season. Believe it or not, he's won his 5 consecutive previous decisions as a starter. In fact, he's won 6 in a row dating back to 2022 from Tenri High School. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can continue to extend his NPB record for consecutive winning decisions as a starter. 5-0 on the season with a .64 ERA. You see there the wall of Tower 11 in left field. Otani and Darvish never quite did what this guy's capable of. His last start was arguably his best, 9 innings of 1-run ball. He's only allowed 2 runs over this winning stretch.
Yeah, and what the Fighters have been going all season long, just sort of pole to pole, the best team in the Pacific League at the moment, really dominating. And specifically, their starting pitching is the best in the league at the moment. They very rarely even use their bullpen, except for maybe once, maybe twice a week. They are a hard out to face.
No kidding. This is a team that by themselves have 16 complete games. All of Major League Baseball has 17.
Yeah,
if memory serves. This team is built differently.
I looked it up last season. The league leader in all of MLB was somebody who had 2 complete games. I'm pretty sure there are multiple Fighter starters who have 3 so far this season. It's great.
Kanemura, Hiroma Ito, yeah, absolutely. Daisuke Nakashima, the right fielder, getting things started. Tatsu pumps a fastball in for strike 1, and we're underway with the Midnight Matinee. It's midnight here on the East Coast, 1 p.m. in Japan. Let's get settled in for a good time. Breaking ball fluttered in. Fouled off for the second strike of the game.
And as a quick start with everyone we got chiming in here, we have some people here from Canada. Nice to see Tyrell here. And who else do we have? Hello from Mexico. All right, and Brazil. Man, we got a lot of people coming in so far today.
From Hawaii, too. Nakashima will flare this into foul territory. Kiomia is going to give it a look and makes the grab. That is a pop-out to Kiomia. He started out as a first baseman, but he's been able to make the progression over to third base quite capably. Good to see he's getting some action early.
That's always an interesting progression because you think people usually kind of go the other way around, right? Like maybe you're a third baseman who lacks the range or the arm. But it's been great to see Kiomia prove over from first base to third.
Hiroto Kobukata, the second baseman for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Last year, Golden Glove, All-Star nod. Stolen base leader in 2023, and he leads the Pacific League in stolen bases so far this season with 22.
That was a dirty breaking ball that got him to swing there.
Tatsu throws a three-pitch mix, fastball sitting in the mid-90s, slider and forkball. 0-2 quickly on Kobukata. There's that heater, 153 in kilometers per hour. I think that's around 95 in freedom units. Misses inside.
And we see there on the bench Ray Munyame, the leading vote getter among all Eagles for the All-Star game coming up soon, I think in a couple weeks.
That's correct. The All-Star game, plural. There's actually two because NPB is just that cool.
And I see Davey Ladsuni asking what positions the Eagles and the Fighters are. The Fighters are the league leaders here in the Pacific League so far this season, and the Eagles are in fifth, 2 spots out of the playoff race.
Kobukata laces this deep to right field. Mizutani's going to give it a look. That's off the wall. It'll bounce back into play. Mizutani's throw will be into second. It's a one-out double for Hiroto Kobukata on an absolute laser beam, searching for the bullpen. There's the Rakuten faithful parked up in the infield third deck. Unlike in most ballparks, the outfield bleachers are not dedicated to the cheering sections. And they are serenading their men in maroon. Kobukata getting things started. That thing almost looked like it was going to leave the park. Hits off the half wall. Mizutani plays it on a hop. Good thing Chusei Manami wasn't patrolling right field. Otherwise, Kobukata would have been dead meat at second. Hideto Asamura, the first baseman in today's game. Team leader in home runs with 5. And you have to wonder, are we watching someone who's going to be in the Hall of Fame by the time his career is done?
Oh, I think without a doubt. He's been one of the best batters in all the Pacific League from his time with the Lions and now with the Eagles. He has been a consistent performer, almost a borderline Cal Ripken-esque player in terms of his Ironman streak that I think ended recently, but he's a phenomenal batsman.
And you see there, he is 2 doubles away from 350 in his career. He's already got 300 home runs and 2,000 career hits. 17 seasons of play, first with the Lions, now with the Eagles. He signed with them as a free agent in 2019. His Ironman streak was 1,346 games, and it ended earlier this season. Fastball pumped in for strike 2.
And I see in the chat here, Grave Walker, is the ballpark new? Yes, this is the newest ballpark in all of Japan. Escon Field is a glorious cathedral to baseball, as far as I'm concerned. It is the most beautiful ballpark in the whole world, as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, it is brand new. Came in last season.
2023.
Oh, 2 seasons ago? Okay, well.
Fastball outside. Ball 2. You see those sliders and fastballs, Tatsu's primary pitches. He'll drop in a forkball as well. I'm not sure where the curve, changeup, and cutter are going to show up on that strike zone map, but I do love the Japanese style with the different pitches identified. Fouled off Tamiya and to the backstop. Asamura stays alive. I also see Tunibu saying 5 home runs leading the team at this point of the season. That is very much Rakuten's team-building philosophy. They are a speed club. So a lot of stealing, a lot of extra bases, a lot of gap power. They got Luke Voigt to add that extra pop. And also, we are still kind of dealing with a mushball era here in NPB. 2-2 on the way to Asamura. That one flies out of Tatsu's mitt and sails way high to load up the count.
I think the speed and power balance between the teams. The Eagles lead the NPB or the Pacific League at least in stolen bases by quite a healthy margin. They are definitely the most active team on the base paths this season.
And then you have the Fighters, who are leading both leagues in home runs.
In both leagues and everything else.
Swing and a miss. Asamura strikes out. The first K of the game for Kota Tatsu. 2 down, runner at second. East Bay with the correction. Yes, the Nippon Ham Fighters. They have no quarrel with ham. In the words of famous scout Kazuo Ito.
They fight on behalf of it.
Yeah, they are owned by Nippon Ham Foods, a meat packing company, just like how the Eagles are owned by Rakuten, the e-commerce company. That's how they can afford guys like Luke Voigt. Already has a home run in his first 10 at-bats here with the Eagles. Chopped on the ground, through the left side for a base hit. Picking up is the left fielder. Throw home is going to be offline. Kobukata scores. Luke Voigt with an RBI single, and the Eagles are in flight, 1-0.
An early strike here for the Eagles, picking up a run against the leading Fighters. That's how they like to play, right? They get their guys out ahead of the bases, and Luke Voigt showing his value so far really early with the team, already picking up his, I think I saw, 4th RBI of the season.
That sounds about right. And there you see Kobukata's speed going from second around on that. Voigt is hyped. This is the kind of foreign pop the Eagles have been looking for. I mentioned in a couple of podcasts, shameless plug, that they could definitely use some foreign offense. And between Oscar Gonzalez and Luke Voigt, definitely has been getting that.
I'm going to let you guys
Murabayashi, the shortstop.
I'm going to let you say his name because I will get it wrong.
You can just go with Itsuki. That works. Batting .314, so he's in the chase for the batting title this season. I think he's second behind only your favorite, Tatsuro Yanagimachi. Ooh, Ryoma Nishikawa, .001 ahead of him. Up the middle, going to be a tough play. Mizuno will flip it to Ishii, and that'll erase Voigt at second. But the Eagles strike first. It's 1-0 Tohoku Rakuten. Fighters will send Mizutani, Tamiya, and Reyes to the mound, to the plate in the bottom half of the first. Stay with us, folks. The Midnight Matinee has a lot more in store.
And as a quick reference to what Gabe mentioned there earlier with the PLTV shameless plug, if you go to our Pacific League English TV broadcast, as you are already here, we have a podcast every week where we cover all of the league's top stories and goings on in English. It's the best source, I think, for all the news and goings on around the league. So please do check us out. It's the podcast. Check it out on the Pacific League TV channel that you are on right now.
The Fighters lead the season series 9-3-1. They've won the previous 2 games 7-1 and 12-1 yesterday. Reyes coming up a triple short of the cycle. The run differential is 64-29, well, now 64-30 in favor of the Fighters. Starting pitcher for the Eagles, Masaru Fuji. This isn't the first time we've seen him. I think this is actually his 2nd or 3rd appearance on the Midnight Matinee. Joined the Eagles in the 2020 draft in the 3rd round. Before that, he was on the Ineos corporate team. Also pitched for Samurai Japan in the 2019 Asian Championship.
And you got to feel for a guy who's got a 2.4 ERA and a losing record. That's brutal.
Yeah, that shows that maybe the run-first offense of Rakuten may not always work. Fastball, slider, sinker, curve, changeup pitch mix. This is his 3rd straight season with a sub-3 ERA. Last season, he was able to work around his control issues and get his walks per 9 down to 2. Hasn't faced a fighter since April 22nd and holds 2 no decisions against them. 3 earned runs over 11 1/3 innings pitched.
And now, is it me or is his glove enormous? Like, it looks like his glove is about 1/5 of his body. Oh, and we're already... Oh, no, these are replays from last night.
Yep, replays from last night as Shun Mizutani muscled one opposite field into the right field bleachers with the lid open here. Showing off those glorious locks of Mizutani.
And as East Bay is pointing out, yes, there are regulations around how many Gaijin or foreign players are allowed to play on each team insofar as the batting and hitting lineups. But we got a lot of them today.
Shun Mizutani was last season's MVP in the interleague session. He leads NPB in isolated power and hard hit percentage with minimum 100 plate appearances. He doinks one into left field, picked up by Gonzalez, and right away Mizutani wasting no time getting on board with a single. Monster Energy? SpawnCon here in my NPB game? No, that doesn't make any sense.
It's worth pointing out, as you saw there, he's hit 3 home runs over the last 5 games. He is the definition of in form at the moment, and picking up yet another hit there. He is on fire at the moment.
Absolutely. Gotta love the little Naruto-style eye black whiskers, too. Not sure if that's intentional or not, but given how popular manga and anime are over there, who can say? Kiomia batting second, the catcher. Last season was his first as the primary catcher for the Fighters. You may remember him as the man who hit the triple in the... I think it was either the triple or the go-ahead single against the Marines at Zozo Marine Stadium. The failed bunt is causing Tsuyoshi Shinjo to slowly die on the bench. Big Boss Shinjo did not like that post.
And, you got to be thankful. I remember a season or 2 ago, Shinjo said if the Fighters didn't make the playoffs, he would step down, but they did make the playoffs, and now they are the league leaders 2 seasons later, and I think we can all agree the Pacific League is better with Shinjo involved.
Oh, absolutely. Kiomia squaring to bunt because this is Japan. Bunted up the first base line, fielded by Fuji, but he bobbles it a little bit. Still out at first. Kobukata covering 1-4 the putout. That'll advance Mizutani to second. Bit of a nervy moment there for Masaru Fuji, but credit where credit is due. Kobukata and Fuji able to get on top of that one.
I've got 2 broadcasts. I've got one going on my TV. It's on a bit of a delay. That was awfully close. My goodness.
Yeah, I don't know if Shinjo wants to challenge that one.
Definitely not worth the challenge this early in the game. And yet Tony Boo says, we love small ball in this household. That is absolutely correct. I've got a personal saying that I say all the time on the podcast. Bunting is sexy. Keep it up, boys.
Franmil Reyes, not only in among the batting title leaders, but the Pacific League leader in home runs with 15. He hit 25 in a partial season last year, and 108 in his MLB career from the Padres to the Guardians to the Cubs to the Royals. He's really endeared himself to the Hokkaido faithful. There you see Chusei Manami sitting right behind him and sitting on the bench, getting a rare day off. So, Reyes, imposing presence, wants to get that run back right away. That's going to be sent into the expensive seats. Here you see the blue foul poles here at Escon Field, Hokkaido. Distinctive feature. This was his home run yesterday. Absolute missile. That ball had hotel reservations. Second deck in left field. Joseph about to bolt because no Manami. I know. Surely you can hang around. 0-2 count. Fuji working with the fastball so far. Haven't seen breaking stuff from him yet. Fouled off by Reyes to stay alive. Interesting point by Roderick. The fighter skipper always wearing a mask in the dugout, possibly to avoid having his emotions read. I mean, Shinjo is definitely an animated type.
Well, not even emotions, just like, how in a lot of sports, coaches will cover their mouths while they're giving their instructions for strategy reasons. That's a pretty good way around that problem, honestly. I never even thought of that.
Absolutely. Fuji, keeping an eye on Mizutani, will step off and chase him back. Fuji was interviewed by Sports Hochi yesterday. It's available on pacificleague.com/en. You can see that he said he wants to pitch in the zone more to avoid pitching from behind. That has been a knock against Fuji in the past, his lack of control. Here, he's pounded the zone, 0-2 on Reyes. Chopped over the third base. Quick look given by Kurokawa to keep Mizutani at second. 5-3 the put out, 2 down.
Number 5, Yuki Nomura.
Left fielder Yuki Nomura started as a third baseman, but moved to first and corner outfield after putting up 16 errors at the hot corner back in 2021. His bat is still valuable, though, so that's why he's still in this game. See, 7 home runs, 267. He got off to the season like a rocket. I think he hit 4 home runs in the first week? Something silly like that. 2 home runs in the first game, I think. At least the one we saw. That's skied backwards and out of play.
And we have Eugene Lavery asking, do you think the Hokkaido a legit contender so far this season? I mean, they've got one of the best bullpens, some of the best starting rotation, and some of the best batters in the league. And, that should go without saying. They are definitely one of the best teams in the league. Obviously, I personally have my own favorite on the side, but they are definitely one of, if not the best teams in not just the Pacific League, but I really do think they can easily outmatch a lot of the teams in the other league for the...
Let's not forget, the PL swept interleague play 3 separate days and wound up winning the interleague title. The Hawks won their 9th interleague championship. And we're only just a week removed from that. Only a couple weeks removed from the All-Star game. 1-1 on the way to Yuki Nomura. Low with a breaking ball. Count is 2-1. Splitter in the dirt.
I thought the umpire called a strike there, and I thought that was questionable to say the least, but good to see that that was a ball.
Nomura is an interesting case because he was born in Michigan, so he actually has dual nationality. But because he migrated to Japan at the age of 1.5 and came up through the draft, he's counted as a domestic player. His middle name is James. Big cut on strike 2. Nice change up there from Fuji. With Kotaro Kiyomiya looming on deck. Nomura may be the guy to get to keep the Eagles ahead 1-0. Mizutani at second. You see him right there above the score bug. 2-2. Nomura stays alive. That's foul towards the Rakuten dugout. You see that slider motion from Fuji. A lot of tailing action on that pitch. Nomura comes set. Runners at scoring position. Brief pause for effect. Fuji deals. Bounced in the dirt. Horiyuchi will cover it. Mizutani's not going anywhere. And the count is full. Wow, I did not realize Mizutani had that big of a height difference over Kobukata.
Oh my goodness. I just saw it on the replay. That's crazy.
Tall man tall.
You know, the crazy thing is that he's only 5'6". Kobukata is just that small.
Or maybe it was just a trick of the light. Full count pitch on the way from Fuji. Here's the payoff. Outside for ball 4. Runners at first and second now for Kotaro Kiyomiya. Kengo Horiyuchi. Catcher having a chat. And as Freddie Mercury serenades us.
As Toonie Boone points out, it is crazy to see the 3-year ERA being above average. And we are definitely in what you would call a dead ball era. A lot of the best pitchers, to have as we pointed out, Fuji himself has, I think, a 2.6 ERA and a losing record. And that's not just a matter of team play. It's just that is how tight the pitching race is in Japan so far. But Kotaro Kiyomiya is coming up, and he is one of the higher potential batsmen in the Pacific League. I say higher potential because he had an illustrious high school career before being drafted #1 overall by many teams, and we are always constantly waiting for him to pop off. He was my dark horse pick for the MVP this year. Not quite living up to that hype so far, but let's see what he's got here with 2 men on.
I mean, he only has the second most career home runs in high school baseball in Japan. Some guy named Rintaro Sasaki passed him only a few seasons ago. But hey, double-digit home runs in each of the last 3 seasons. Last couple of those marred by injury. So he's developed, just may not be, the top echelon guy that everyone thought he was. Roderick Tillman asking, will the NPB All-Star Game be broadcast on Dingo TV FTF Sports? Sadly, no. The All-Star Game rights are owned by NPB, the league itself. So you'll have to go find their YouTube channel to watch highlights after the games.
But the Pacific League will win, surely.
Well, I mean, they'll win both games, absolutely. Kiomia chops this up the fair space line, fair, and that'll be a easy tap there by Asamada, unassisted, to end the bottom of the first. Good pitching by Fuji to strand a pair. Gonzalez, Kurokawa, and Horiuchi coming up for the Eagles in the top of the second here on the Midnight Matinee.
And so with that one batter for the fighters mentioned, that Gay mentioned he was from Michigan. Sound off in the chat where you're from. We love to always see how much of a global audience we have here on the Pacific League TV English channel. And yeah, let's see where we're from. We're always trying to build a tapestry of a little map of where we have. Let's see any unique places. Got Maryland, USA from OJ. Boston from Joseph A. Dark Matter.
And I mean, Joseph is a familiar friend to the channel. We interviewed him for the Making the Pitch series. You can find those here on YouTube. He represented the Fighters, and he's one of the most dedicated Fighters fans on the internet. Glad to see him in the chat right now.
Yeah, seeing a lot of familiar names. A bunch of symbols there. Southern California. Aries 385 from Kansas City, Missouri. Oh, yet another Torontonian.
Hey, how's it going, bye? Technically, this broadcast is Canadian content because Jimbo and I are both north of the 49th parallel.
I am unfortunately on the Francais side. Every time I speak French, we lose viewers. And as I said that, I saw people leave the chat. That's fair.
Oh, we got someone from Indonesia. Ahmad, thank you for joining us. So definitely not midnight where you are.
Tony asking how often does MPB get shown? We try to do about one game here live once a month, but Pacific League TV, the subscription channel, you can watch all the games as you want, 1,500 yen per month. It's about $10 US. And yeah, check it out as we kick off the second inning here with a ball.
This would be Oscar Gonzalez, signed mid-season by the Eagles to a 2-year deal, so he's going to be here next year as well. The left fielder signed by the Guardians in 2014 as an international free agent, hit the walk-off home run in the 15th to win the AL Wildcard Series for Cleveland over Tampa Bay back in 2022. So he's definitely well known in the Cleveland area, but here he is trying to make a name for himself in Japan.
And a little shout out to, I think I saw Tony there with Eugene. Allez les Expos, oui merci. Allez les Expos de Montréal.
Nos amours.
So much.
Nice Friends Film asking, what's the easiest way to keep track of when English broadcasts will be? Keep an eye on our community posts here. We do post when we are going to be going live. Or you can find me on Blue Sky. I don't think I can post the link, but you can look for me. I'm the only one of my name out there. Our next live broadcast will be August 19th, another Sunday game. Sunday, August 17th, 12 a.m. Eastern, as the Oryx Buffaloes host the Saitama Seibu Lions. And our season finale will be September Saturday, September 27th, 5 a.m. Eastern, as the Chiba Lotte Marines host these Hokkaido Nippon Ham fighters.
And I saw Tony he is asking where to subscribe. I will try to get that link for you in the chat. Give me just a moment here.
Do we still do baseball for breakfast? I wish. Sadly, we haven't been able to pull that off. Easy play there by Kiomia, but he airmails the throw. That's into shallow right. Picked up by Ishii. Throw into second is late. That'll be a throwing error on Kotaro Kiyomiya, and Oscar Gonzalez will find himself at second base. Let's watch the replay on this. He's got time, he's got space, and yeet. Yuya Gunji is not that tall. Kiyomiya, not entirely thrilled with himself, but there's only so many spots on the diamond. And gotta put someone at third base. Tsuyoshi Shinjo looking on. So the runner at second is unearned. Kota Tatsu will look him back. Here's Fumiya Kurokawa. 6th season in the pro level. Normally an up the middle infielder. He's getting a start here at third because he's been swinging a hot stick so far this season. 13 for 43. Known as something of a leadership figure in the dugout. Belted to right field. That'll land for a base hit and roll into the corner. Mizutani is on it. Gonzalez will score easily. Back-to-back extra base hits. And the Eagles have tacked on another run. It's 2-0 Tohoku Rakuten. In one game, Kota Tatsu has allowed more runs than each of the last 5. Or the last 5 combined.
Yeah, kind of surprising here to see the Eagles get so far out ahead of the Fighters, but that's baseball for you.
Looks like Gunji might have had a clip of that. He gave it a leap from that overhead angle. It looks like he might have had a chance. So, runner at second, still nobody out. Kengo Horiuchi. 10 years a professional. Only hit his first career home run earlier this season. Blocked for a long time at the catcher position by guys like Motohiro Shima, Hikaru Ota, Takedo Kajima. But here he is, batting .308.2. So he's stealing that starting job from Hikaru Ota. Getting a chance here. Count is 2-0 on him. Tatsu running into a bit of a bind here. One of the neat facts I found out about him, he makes a point to visit a nail salon to keep his fingernails strong after he had one cracked by a batted ball back in high school. Fastball over for a strike. Count is 2-1. This is his first start against the Eagles in his career. You see there, he's living at the top of the zone at the moment. 2 forks and a fastball. See what he delivers here. Called strike 2.
Ooh, what a frame job. Gotta be
Good
real
work
there.
by Tamiya, yes.
Oh, look at
The letters.
Yank that down.
Tony Yee asking, is there a minor league in Japan? Yes, exactly one. And often teams will shuttle players up and down as often as they need. Chopped foul by Horiuchi. In some cases, the farm team even plays right next door to the parent club. Like I'm thinking of the Cebu Lions. The minor league stadium is adjacent to Balloonadome.
And what's great is that with your Pacific League TV subscription, you can watch all of the minor league games, not just the Pacific League ones, but even the ones with Central League teams.
Kurokawa standing at second. Horiuchi will lace this one into right field. That'll fall for a base hit up the line and fair. That's another base hit in right field. And another double. To score Kurokawa, Kengo Horiuchi continues his hot streak. And the Eagles now lead by 3. What's going through Big Boss Shinjo's brain, I wonder? That looked like it busted up Horiguchi on the inside, and he muscles it up the right field line and fair. Big happy for Kengo. Zachary with an interesting hypothetical. Player went from Japan to MLB, but 2 years later they go back to Japan. How long before an MLB team can sign them? You get international free agency rights with an NPB after 9 years of service time, but technically anyone can be posted at any time. So, depends. Does your team like you? Have you agreed to be posted? If not, you gotta wait 9 years. Like Kodai Senga did. The Hawks don't need to post anyone. They've got all the money in the world. Yosuke Tatsumi, another line drive into right field. Mizutani's getting victimized out there. Another single. And that makes 3 straight hits and an error to stack the bases here. East Bay is correct. Once you hit domestic free agency, 8 years of service time, you lose your foreign player status, like Levon Moinello did earlier this season.
And I don't know how to read his name, but a bunch of lines asks if they're essentially channel similar to this one. No, and that's why the Pacific League is the best. We are the league that tries the best for English outreach, and we not only offer our games here free, but you can sign up for Pacific League TV to watch all the games, which the Central League does not provide.
Sacrifice bunt by Daisuke Nakashima advances the runners to second and third with 1 out. Dog driving's here. Okay. You missed quite a bit.
Quite a
Hajime
few
Miki,
runs already.
former, now current, again, Eagles manager, likes what he sees. Kobukata had a double and scored in the first inning. So even though he doesn't get on base that often, you see there are only 54 hits on 200 at-bats. He does, when he gets on base, he does become a menace with that speed of his. Well, Samuel, if our voices aren't what you're going for in terms of vibe, our partners at Dingo TV will carry every single Pacific League game as they happen without commentary. Not Japanese, not ours. Tune in and listen to the cheering section to your heart's content. Available all across North America. Go to watchdingo.com to check them out. Much ado about wrestling, asking who could be the next big international prospect in the MLB in the next few years. Sadly, my answer to that, Chusei Manami, is riding the pines at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to address that comment and say the same thing. The definitely the best majors prospect at the moment on these two teams is Chusei Manami, but he is not playing today. But again, you can go to Pacific League TV and check out games with him. He is great.
2-0 on the way to Kobukata. That's going to find the foul territory. Given a look out there by Nomura. I will say this is definitely a better ballpark than Sapporo Dome. I was there in 2019 to watch these two exact teams play, and the Eagles roughed over the Fighters 13-3, I think was the final score. But that was back in 2019, and these teams are very different now. I think there's only a handful of players who are the same on both clubs, both of which are pitchers. 2-1 on the way to Kobukata. Forkball low. Count is 3-1. Eugene Lavery mentioning Kota Yazawa was supposed to be the next two-way player. Yeah, he's in center field right now. He does not have a pitching appearance yet this season, but he did last year. Three and one on the way. Tatsu trying to get out of a jam. Kobukata talking to himself a little bit there. Interesting to see how the pitch mix has changed from Tatsu over the last few at-bats. Looks like he's dropped his slider. He's trusting what he knows. The fastball and forkball combo. See the forks there down at the bottom of the zone, exactly where you want them to be. Kiomia sets up. That one finds foul territory. Tatsu's not entirely sure what he needs to do to get out of this inning. Second and third, one out. Eagles have already scored twice this inning. Horiyuchi standing at third, Tatsumi at second after being bunted over by Daisuke Nakashima. Oh yeah, WBC would be amazing this year, coming year. Called strike three. Kobukata strikes out looking. Fastball froze him on a full count pitch. Tatsu reaching back for something a little extra there. Perfectly dots the outer corner. Joseph's like, Tatsu's ERA now a shocking 1.0. Unacceptable. Hideto Asamura struck out his last time up. Coming up here with runners in scoring position. Curveball floated in. Ball one, misses the zone high. Asamura is a gold medal winner at both the Olympics and the Premier 12, but was left off the WBC team in 2023, so he's not a member of the triple gold team. Another forkball low. Count is 2-0. I feel like Tatsu's thrown like, what, 25 pitches this inning? We'll see what happens when it comes up on the scoreboard. Joseph, you're going to have to elaborate if Asamura is something of a thorn in the fighter's side. Slider over for strike one. And after him, Luke Voigt, who already has a hit today. You see the forkball grip from Tatsu. Atmosphere seems a little tense in Escon Field, Hokkaido, given the way the last two games have gone and the season series gone between these two clubs. Masahiro Tanaka is not retired. He's actually pitching in the other league for the Giants. Up until last season, he was even back with the Eagles. And there's a bit of confusion on the mound. A balk is called on Kota Tatsu, and that'll score Horiyuchi. That makes it 4-0 Eagles over Fighters here in the top of the second. Tatsu, this is his first time facing the Eagles. I think we found his boogeyman. Let's see on the replay if we can spot when his motion was stopped. Yeah, he lost his balance there. Easy balk call. Please do not do a balk. Called strike two. Twos across the scoreboard here with Luke Voigt looming on deck. Runner at third is Tatsumi, and he's got some speed too. Asamura sends it skyward. Yazawa will give it a look and retrieve it. That will end the top of the second. 7-man come to bat. Hey, I'm doing scorekeeping too. It's 4-0 Rakuten over Nippon Ham. Mizuno, Gunji, and Yazawa up in the bottom half of the inning. This is the Midnight Matinee here on the Pacific League English YouTube channel, and Kota Tatsu is going to go punch a refrigerator. I'm glad you're enjoying the chat here, Zachary. We do try to elaborate. and elucidate and educate. For example, right now, this weekend series and next are part of the Kawaii series here at Escon Field Hokkaido. Believe it or not, both the mascots of Sanrio's, or some mascots from Sanrio, will be present at the games and hanging out with the mascots. Melody today and Kuromi next week. Cinema Roll will be celebrating Hokkaido produce with a photo spot and app check-in. There will be exclusive merch and collaboration drinks during this Kawaii series period. There's Kurokawa at second base, or at third base. It was his double that got things started here. Horiuchi picked up a single, RBI, and scored himself.
Leading home from the bottom of the second for the Voices. Batting the shortstop, number 43. Tom Lipkin. His turn.
Shortstop Tatsuki Mizuno, drafted by the Fighters from JR Shikoku. 3 home runs on the season. Silly as that sounds, the whole corporate baseball setup in Japan is unique. As Horiuchi takes one off the mask. In that, as well as high school and college teams, players from independent baseball clubs or corporate clubs can be drafted by NPB teams. It's a way of making sure there's still enough opportunities for playing, even though there's only one minor league level. So, when Tatsuki Mizuno was employed by JR Shikoku, he not only played baseball, he was also a station attendant as his day job. 1-1 on the way from Fuji, inside, ball 2. I mean, freak show, it is early still. This lineup can score in bunches. I mean, if nothing else, they'll win the series on aggregate. 2-2 on the way. Playboy Germ, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's the style we like to bring. I mean, let's be real. I am no Dan Schulman or Matt Vasgersian or Joe Buck. I am just some guy. But I'm enjoying doing this, and I hope you're enjoying me doing this. Mizuno staring at a 2-2 count. Fuji on the way. Popped up into the backstop. Horiuchi's going to give it a look, but that will find the expensive seats. The foul ball whistles, like cicadas of the summer, distinctive to Japanese baseball. Man, I should write some of these down. I'm coming up with haiku and I don't even know it. Fuji, in a battle here, Mizuno sends this foul again. That's 7 pitches in this at-bat. That one to the second deck. One of the questions we get here on the Midnight Matinee often is, how do you get tickets? Well, the Pacific League is partnered with ticketsinjapan.com to make it easy for you to secure seats to all 6 Pacific League clubs. Don't have to bother with machine translation or trying to fiddle with the box office or pointing at a map. Nope. Go to ticketsinjapan.com and they'll help you out. It's the only way to get Fighters tickets outside of Japan at this point. Full count pitch on the way to Mizuno. Chopped to the right side, outside of the reach of Kobukata and into right field. Mizuno aboard with a leadoff single. Here's a replay from yesterday's game. Yuya Gunji gooning this one into left field. Gunning, sorry, typo. That hit the concourse, my goodness. Yuya Gunji, an interesting player. Started his career as a catcher. That's what he was with the Chunichi Dragons when the Fighters acquired him and Takumi Yamamoto for Shingo Usami and one other player whose name I can't recall. Given that Gunji put up double-digit home runs and Takumi Yamamoto has turned into a crucial bullpen piece, I think the Fighters won that deal. And part of that is because Gunji has moved to the infield. Oh, one on the way. Runner at first. Called strike. Fuji leaning on the breaking balls a little bit there. That one had a nice little bit of arm side run, too. Almost a Shuto-like pattern. There's the cheer section up in the nosebleeds here. Not in the outfield. I can't use my usual home run call here at Escon. Guji spoils this one. That's into right field. So many souvenirs today. SCZ, Chinese-Canadian. There are two very good Taiwanese pitchers on the Fighters. Last year's CPBL MVP, Gulin Ruiyang, unfortunately is injured, but hopefully he'll be back soon. And we might see Sun Yi Lei out of the bullpen. He set the franchise record for youngest Fighters pitcher to record a save earlier this season. Gunji stays alive. 4 straight foul balls here. That one looks like it hit the inside of his knee. Ooh. Yeah, right above that padding. That's less than ideal. Quick maintenance from the trainer. Is it like in Pokemon where they just spray the potion on him? Among Gunji's home runs last season, one of which dented and broke a bullpen camera in the exposed bullpens in the outfield. That camera is now available as a memorabilia piece at Escon Field Hokkaido, and of course, Gunji has signed it. 0-2 on the way from Fuji. He steps off and throws to first. Mizuno not going. No Fighters player has double-digit stolen bases, and they even employ Ryota Isobata, one of the fastest men in Japan. Oh-2 on the way from Fuji. Outside. Ball 1. So he does throw Shuto. Okay, I was correct. For those of you unfamiliar, the Shuto or shoot ball is kind of like a modern screwball in that it has arm side run as opposed to glove side. You may remember Daisuke Matsuzaka and his famous gyro ball. This is the less specific to Daisuke version of the pitch. Backward slider, the Eric G, absolutely. 1-2 on the way. Gunji trying to move the runner over at least. Horiuchi froze but couldn't get the call on that breaking pitch. That looked close. Oh, never mind. That was well offside. Thank you, secondary camera, for proving me wrong. Playboy Germ, I know, it's almost 1 in the morning. I too am chilling in my room watching some NPB. We're doing it together. Hey, look at us. Isn't this great? Gunji laces it to left field, base hit. Gonzalez will pick it up. Here come the Fighters. Runners at first and second for Kota Yazawa. Torso Dog asking how often is the roof open? Well, it was open yesterday. Maybe there was some rain in the forecast. If you take a look at yesterday's highlights, and including the most recent midnight matinee here at Escon Field Hokkaido from last season, the lid was open back then too. I mean, it's not as bad as Mizuho PayPay Dome, where because of how expensive it is to open the lid, they only open it like once or twice a year. Kota Yazawa playing center field today, although he's registered as a pitcher. Drafted as a two-way dude. You may remember the previous two-way prospect that the Fighters developed, some guy by the name of Shohei Ohtani. as my scoreboard skitters all over my keyboard. Joseph mentioning that Yazawa has some legit pop for his size. He's already got a home run on the season. I mean, if you can throw a baseball 95 miles an hour, arguably you could do some damage with a bat. First and second, Fuji in a jam, nobody out. There you get a view of the massive windows occupying most of the outfield, letting in plenty of natural light, and even as a result, even in a closed facility, that's natural grass here at Escon Field, Hokkaido. Only other PL ballpark to have natural grass? Rakuten Mobile Park Miyagi in Sendai, home of the Eagles. Izawa watches strike two sail past. Fuji seems to be missing a couple of clicks on his fastball. Not sure if that's fatigue or if something's up. We should probably keep an eye on that. Trying to give the cheer section a little bit of stream time here. 2-man aboard for Yazawa. Fuji lefty on lefty. Slider well outside for ball two. Well, Tony Boo, only the PL teams, northern ballparks, have natural grass. I'm pretty sure Hiroshima does, but that's in the other league. I could be wrong. Yazawa flares this into left field. Gonzalez will play it on a hop. Mizuno is held. And oh no, the bases are loaded full of fighters. Here in the bottom of the second, still nobody out. Just a defensive swing. Izawa able to muscle it in. Oscar Gonzalez with a cannon throw. There you see Morimoto, the third base coach, putting up the biggest stop sign he can possibly muster to keep Mizuno at third. Pitching coach Ishii keeping an eye on things. Shun Mizutani standing on deck. Ishii, one of the longest-serving members of this fighters roster, worked up enough service time to qualify for domestic free agency, but decided to stay in town, renew his contract, and get a pretty nice bonus as a result. 9 years of playing time, all with the fighters. 1 home run on the season. Would be pretty funny if one happened right here. And he laces this to center field. That will fall for a base hit. Tatsumi can't cover that much ground. 1 run, 2 runs will score. Coming in is Mizuno and Gunji. Izawa standing at second. Ishii puts the fighters on the board. It's 4-2. How does anyone string together hits in this game? I swear. Baseball players are something else. Ishii, the old pro, getting it done. Still nobody out. Runners at first and second. Fuji's like, okay, Tatsu made a mess. I can make a bigger one. Shun Mizutani. One of 2 mixed race players on this fighters team. Mizutani's father is from Nigeria. The other is Chusei Manami, whose father is from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Mizutani also is nicknamed Stanton because He is modeling himself after Giancarlo Stanton of the New York Yankees. Like I said, he leads all of NPB in hard hit percentage among players with at least 100 plate appearances. 0-1 on the way from Fuji. Yazawa at second, Ishii at first. That's chopped up the first base line, but foul. 0-2 the count. You'll also see some signs there with his middle name, Jesse, on them. That is a lot of white and blue jerseys. Oh, you also got a quick glance at the We Love Hokkaido jerseys for this year, using the F logo as a mountain range. When I say I covet, I definitely covet those. 0-2 on the way. Flared into left field. Gonzalez tracking it. He makes the grab. Nice play there by Oscar Gonzalez, and that'll hold the runners. Call that a line drive or a fly out? Goes golfing on this one. Mizutani laces it to left field. Gonzalez had to take a few steps back. Nice leaping grab there. Mizutani knows he just missed it. Yeah, I wrote down L7 in my scorebook too, Eric G. Kiomia. Grounded out to the pitcher last time up, or had a sacrifice bunt. Fuji throws low, ball one. You have to wonder what the weather conditions are like in the dome or in Escon Field, Hokkaido. Is there air conditioning? Man, I gotta go over there and see for myself. One thing I hope that we eventually get a glimpse of is the hotel in left field, because then I can talk about it a little more. 1-0 on the way to Tamiya. Fastball high. Did he go? No. Ball two. J-Dog's House of Gaming saying the gold, black, and red ones they used 2 years ago. Oh, the massive popped collars ones? That was a fashion statement. I'm not sure if it was an intelligible one, but it was a statement. Hey, Eric G's going in 2 weeks and staying at Tower 11. Way to go. I'm jealous. Breaking ball, and the count is 3-0. Slider missing high and inside. Not sure if that was a frame miss by Horiuchi or Fuji just missing his mark. There's action in the Rakuten bullpen already. Seiryu Uchi getting loose. If Fuji can't wriggle his way out of this inning. Get me over fastball for strike one. So, in the past, to the point where it wound up on his Japanese Wikipedia page, it said that Fuji had issues with his control. We haven't seen a walk from him yet today. Oh, sorry, one walk. As Tamiya foul tips strike two into the mid of Horiuchi. Full count. Both pitchers already inching towards 50 pitches. This may be a bullpen game, but hey, Monday's a day off. Might as well use them if you got them. Full count on the way. High for ball four. Tamiya is aboard. Yazawa to third, Ishii to second. And oh no, it's the Franimal. 25 home runs last season, 15 so far this one. To say Franmil has made a name for himself in Hokkaido might be underselling it. One of my favorite apocryphal stories is he was at one of the rail stations near the ballpark in Kita, Hiroshima, and he just straight up gave his bat to a fan. That is a fan for life. Reyes can be a fighter as long as he wants. 50 pitches in the game for Masaru Fuji. 2 walks, no strikeouts. And he's gotten dinked and doinked all over the place this inning. My colleague Mike Bealey is just waiting to enter this game, dealing with some technical difficulties. Slider misses low for ball 2. EP, appropriate for the late game, asking, are Cracker Jacks still an acceptable snack when watching NPB? I mean, why not? But if you've got edamame and karaage available, why would you? Fuji laboring here. Bases full of fighters. 2-0 the count on Reyes. Just misses this one. That's going to find the stands. Nicholas Pace mentioning Sembe. Yeah, that's a decent option too. Sound off in the chat what your favorite ballpark snack is. I mean, at NPB, I'm a sucker for the long fries. But yeah, karaage, I think, is the answer for me. Reyes gets into this one high and deep to center field, and you can watch it go! 16th home run of the season for Franmil Reyes. And the Fighters have flipped the script and the score. A grand slam from Franmil Reyes. The exclamation point in this game. 6-4 Fighters. How's that for some yakuniku? The Franimal is loose. Fuji is watching his day end. Kotatatsu might actually come back out for the third at this point. Let's watch the replay on this one. Oof. To the deepest part of the park, to the batter's eye. You don't get too many chances with Franmil Reyes. Wow. And look at the dugout, too. You can tell they wanted this. Martinez, Taiki Narama celebrating. Big Boss Chinjo likes this post. Really likes it. The Shakemaru, the fighter's fish, getting waved around as Masaru Fuji exits the game. 6 hits, 1 home run, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, only 1 1/3 innings pitched. That is probably going to be the worst start of his season. Seiryu Uchi already loose and coming into the game. Not often we get a grand slam on the Midnight Matinee. In fact, I think our Japanese counterpart and I were chatting. That might be our first. Yeah, good question. What was the highest scoring Midnight Matinee game? Joseph estimating 410 feet on that Reyes home run. Seiryu Uchi entering the game for the Eagles. Uchi stands 190 centimeters tall, so around 6'1", 6'2". Fastball, his primary weapon, but he'll mix in a splitter, slider, and curve. If you look at his pitching motion and think, hey, that looks kind of familiar, you're not wrong. He modeled his throwing motion after Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the ace of aces, after Uchi broke his throwing shoulder and had to adjust his pitching motion to avoid injury. One out here, base is clear for Yuki Nomura. Uchi gets things started with a strike. Nomura walked his first time up last inning. This is going to make a mess of my scorecard, I swear. Nomura grounds to short. Murabayashi's throw on the money, 2 down.
Batting fifth at third base. Kiomia.
Zachary Hadaway asking, who have been some of the best pitchers this year? Just take a guess and say any of the Saitama Seibu lines, to be honest. Chihiro Sumida and Tatsuya Imai are in the top 3 for ERA, both of them. You also got Levon Moinello, as Kotaro Kiyomiya sends this skyward, high and deep to right, but on the fence. Picked up by Nakashima. A bat-around second inning sees the Fighters score 6. Numbers don't get much more crooked than that. Voit, Murabayashi, and Gonzalez up for the Eagles. Franmil beating his chest and beating some baseballs. It's 6-4 Fighters over Eagles here in the Midnight Matinee. Okay, I have to talk about this because it's friggin' amazing. There is a meat festival going on at Escon Field, Hokkaido, end of July, early August. Look at those reactions. Look at the meats. Never mind Arby's. We have the meats. I'm jealous. Joining me in the booth finally is Michael Bealey. Mike, hopefully your technical issues were resolved.
Yeah, everything seems to be looking good over here, and I see that I came back to a game that's gotten kind of crazy already.
I mean, it's been 70 minutes, and we've only gotten 2 innings of work done. Tatsu ran into some doubles issues, and then you just saw the Reyes home run, a grand slam, my goodness.
Yeah, sounds like a typical Fighters game here on the Midnight Matinee.
Quick out-of-town scoreboard check while we're at it. Oryx and Lotte scoreless in the top of the first, but runners at first and second already for the Marines. Alan Curry on the bump for the Buffaloes. And at Mizuho Pepe Dome, SoftBank Hawks 3, Cebu Lions 1. Here's a replay of the RBI back in the first inning that Luke Voigt picked up. Buckled under a forkball for strike 1. Luke Voigt is an MLB home run champion, just in the COVID year. 22 home runs in 60 games for Luke Voigt. Sent to the Padres in the Juan Soto deal in 2022. And spent a few seasons in Mexico. And Mike, you think that that's one of the reasons why he's adapted to the Japanese game so quickly? He's already used to a foreign league?
Yeah, I would think so. He's already, been there in a foreign land. He's, used to the travel, used to being the new guy. And of course, he's already a very powerful guy as it is. So I think that, he's already done this before. So at this point, he just has to play baseball.
0-2 on the way from Tatsu. Forkball low for ball 1. Tamiya tried to frame it, but it's good to see Kota Tatsu back out here and battling. Fuji got punched out after 1 1/3 innings. And Voigt swings and misses over a fastball. Elevated, out of the zone. Kota Tatsu showing that the Japanese pitchers have some velo too. Tatsu 6'4", according to Joseph A. I can believe you on that. Itsuki Murabayashi, fielders grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Silver medalist at last year's Premier 12. Mostly been playing some third base, with Rui Muniyama as the primary shortstop, but with Rui getting a day off today, Itsuki shifting over. Murabayashi pulled down the line and foul. You see those seats recessed below ground level. In some ballparks, those are at ground level, and they ask you to wear a helmet because you are in front of the foul netting. Exciting seats for sure. Chopper up the middle, going to be a tough play. Mizuno, Ishii crosses in front and drops it. Hit, error, what are we thinking? That's a Kohai Senpai situation. You got to let the more senior player take that one. I mean, that's right up the middle. I got it. Aye. Tough play. So, runner at first now, 1 out for Oscar Gonzalez. Already has 2 home runs on the young season. Reached on an error by Kiomia his first time up last inning. Takes ball 1 outside. Folks seem to be agreeing that that was an error. And if you're wondering, hey, the cheer songs for Gonzalez and Voigt sound very similar. That's the generic let's go foreign player song by the Rakuten cheer section. When I was over there in 2019, that song was used for Jabari Blash, if you want a throwback. Fastball finds the zone for strike 1. Gonzalez trying to loosen up. Wonder if he was a teammate of Voigt at one point. Same teams, Yankees and Padres. That's popped up into center field. Izawa waits under it. And a good throw into the relay man will keep Murabayashi at first. Here's a replay of Fumiya Kurokawa's seeing eye line drive double into the right field corner, starting the barrage for the Eagles last inning. Kurokawa playing third today. Scored and hit that double. So RBI and R. Oh, John Perry mentioning Chala Head Chala. The old Dragon Ball Z theme song is an entrance song for Justin Bohr, the Fireball. Oh yeah, that's good. Breaking ball is high for 2-0. Kurokawa's an interesting duck because he spent time in the Australian Baseball League last season. He was with the Perth Heat. NPB teams love sending players down to the ABL to work on maybe learning a new position or refining their skill set. Takahisa Hayakawa pitched an absolute gem for the Perth Heat when he was down there a few seasons ago, and that really refined him into the ace he is for the Eagles. I'm also thinking of Yuma Mune learning how to play Golden Glove third base with the Canberra Cavalry. Popped up. Shallow right field. Ishii make the squeeze on this one. No score for the first time for the Eagles. Tatsu putting up a 0. Fighters hold serve at 6-4 here in the Midnight Matinee on the Pacific League English YouTube channel. See Ariel Martinez hanging out in the dugout. There's the team sponsor on the dugout wall behind Kota Tatsu. And this game is important for the Fighters' pennant hopes. The Buffaloes and Hawks are only one game behind them. We could have a three-way tie if the Fighters lose this game and the Buffaloes and Hawks win theirs. It's a nice shot at Tower 11, too. I remember one folk in the chat is going to be going to there, so color me jealous. 130 of y'all tuning in right now. Thank you for doing so and making us a part of your 4th of July long weekend.
And looking into it real quick for you, Gabe, Luke Voigt and Oscar Gonzalez did not play together as he made his debut with the Padres after Voigt was already gone.
Ah, shoot. Would have been a fun little tidbit. Mizuno got things started last inning with a leadoff single. I think it was like on the first or second pitch. There's some of the special Sanrio collaboration goods that you can acquire at Escon Field Hokkaido this week and next weekend. Mizuno watches the first pitch from Uchi sail high. Mizuno was elected to the All-Star game last season, but declined to participate. The fan balloting is done. The players balloting is done. This one's popped up into left. Gonzalez barely has to budge. And that'll be the first out of the bottom of the third. Speaking of All-Stars last season, Yuya Gunji was among them. And you realize when you're taking a look at some of the player bios on Japanese Wikipedia and on the team sites, exactly how big of a nerd some of these players are. Gunji's university thesis was on the music of Pawapuro, the Japanese baseball game, which I have recently imported and have started to enjoy playing. Any guesses what team I focus on, Mike?
Do they have a cat as a logo?
No.
The Buffaloes then.
Yes, you are right, the Buffaloes. As much as I can cheer for the Fighters or any team on any given day, I am a Buffaloes fan first and foremost at this point. I mean, I got interviewed by Jimbo on the Making the Pitch series last year.
I always joke around with Pro Spirits that I am the #1 player in the USA because, I mean, I don't know how many people in the USA are playing Pro Spirits. I think more people are playing Power Pros over Pro Spirits.
Yeah, because Pro Spirits is region locked on Steam. That's a problem.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that one.
Ichi, 0-2 count. Gunji just fouling off everything in sight. East Bay mentioning that the Buffaloes are playing in Kobe this series and rocking the Blue Wave throwbacks. It is the 30th anniversary of the Great Hanshin earthquake as Seiryu Uchi strikes out Yuya Gunji. Believe it or not, that's the first strikeout of a fighter's batter this game. Tunibu, you have no idea. But that's what we're doing here with the Pacific League and PLTV. You can watch games on FTF Sports Tuesday through Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, live as they happen on WatchDingo.com. Our partners at Dingo TV, including this game right here, just minus our commentary. Izawa will ground this to second Kobukata. As automatic as they come, makes it a 1-2-3 inning for Uchi. And as that inglorious Ilvis song starts ramping up, Frep the Fox, Polypolaris, Clutchy the Eagle from the Rocketon Eagles, and I think My Melody will be joining them for the Fox dance. We're just going to let them groove. I got to rehydrate. Midnight Matinee here on the Pacific League English YouTube channel, doing our level best to avoid a DMCA strike. Well, Tatsu has been wildly effective so far. Aside from that mess in the second, one of which included an error. Came up with a solid inning last time, so he's going to keep going. Kengo Horiuchi. RBI single and scored in the second. Forkball misses low, 2-0. Laced foul. As much fun as it would be to be able to broadcast this game live on location, I don't think my sleep schedule could handle that. 13 hours on a plane? Just for one game? I wish. Tatsu deals 2-1, fouled off. Horiuchi staying alive. Tatsu still able to get to that 150 kilometers per hour mark. If memory serves, that's around 93, 94 in freedom units. Two on the way. Another line drive. Another foul ball. That's into the netting. It is always nice to see when a veteran picks up the slack and starts to steal a job for themselves. Called strike three. Slider froze Horiuchi. 4 strikeouts on the day for Kota Tatsu. That'll bring up the 4-time Golden Glover, Ryosuke Tatsumi. Here, batting ninth.
I'm scoring a game for the first time. That'd be a KC, right? Am I learning?
Backwards K.
Backwards K.
Another slider dropped in for strike one against Tatsumi. Also picked up an RBI in that inning, but didn't get past third to score. He sends this to center field. Yazawa will give it a look. It's off the wall. Tatsumi will find himself at second with a one-out double. Can't count these birdies out yet. I mean, Tatsumi is, in addition to being an excellent fielder, also a large ham. I remember seeing a social media reel of him goofing off when doing recordings for the Jumbotron at Rakuten Mobile Park Miyagi, but also when he was being awarded with his 4th consecutive Golden Glove last off-season. He showed up with his body painted in gold and wearing a golden tuxedo.
That is an aura I can get behind.
No kidding. Big swing and a miss there from Daisuke Nakashima, the right fielder, over a slider from Kota Tatsu. Runner at second, one out. Tatsumi is a threat to steal. Nakashima. A lot of stuff has been pulled foul up the right field line. But they can... And it was the stuff that wasn't. You remember back in the second inning, everything was just straight up the line and fair. That resulted in that mess of a top of the second for Kota Tatsu. Army Chow Mein asking why NPB hasn't been out of the park for a while. Oh! Perfectly grabbed there by Gunji, but biffed the throw to second. So score that, a line drive to the third baseman, Gunji, and almost a pickoff of Tatsumi. Wow. That might have actually struck Tatsumi, and Mizuno just couldn't leap out of the way. Tough play. I'll pick up the topic on out of the park baseball once we are between innings. I am involved in that community to some extent. And sure enough, that was my first exposure to NPB on a deep level. Strike one from Tatsu. Nice slider at the bottom corner of the zone. Kobukata got nominated to the All-Star game on the players' ballot. There is still a chance for one more player to get nominated. The +1 vote will open starting tomorrow. Bruin joining up with the Fighters fandom. Excellent choice. You picked him at the right time. And also, they're the former employers of Yu Darvish and Shohei Ohtani. So, you know, you got that going for you. Chopped foul. That thing had a bouncing mind of its own. 0-2 the count. Tatsu at 75 pitches. Nicholas Pace mentioning last year was rough watching Lions. True, they got better. Seiya Watanabe, all-star nod in his first campaign. Imai getting the nomination on the players' ballot to be a member of the pitching staff. Chihiro Sumida, we watched him develop and grow into another ace. Nasty Natsuki, last year's Rookie of the Year, healthy again. And of course the human highlight reel, Sosuke Genda. Fastball high, 1-2. Tatsumi still at second base after that double. Kobukata leads the league in stolen bases with 22. That's going to chase back Nomura. He's not going to get it. That's up against the wall. Tatsumi will score easily. An RBI double for Hiroto Kobukata. And the Eagles are not going away quietly. Forkball grip. Kobukata just going with it the other way. And Nomura, not exactly a natural left fielder, does not have a good read on it. Mike, do you have any fielding stats on Yuki Nomura? Like, has he adjusted to the outfield, or is he still more of a first base type guy?
I will get on that for you. I'll see how advanced the fielding information gets for him.
Cheers. Joseph pointing out Nomura in left when he's a natural third base, Kiomia at first when at third when he's a natural first, and I point out Yuya Gunji played like 100 games at third base last season. Thought they had third base settled. Hideto Asamura, 17-year veteran, former Ironman streak holder, newest member of the Meikyukai. And Shun Mizutani snares this with a shoestring grab to end the top of the fourth, stranding the runner at second. They don't get prettier than that, folks. 6-5 Fighters lead Eagles. It'll be Ishii, Mizutani, and Tamiya in the bottom of the fourth. Mizutani rocking the Yuli Gurriel-esque pineapple hair. So from what I understand on Out of the Park Baseball is they never licensed NPB at all. And someone found out, and someone got really upset. And as a result, there's no more NPB in Out of the Park Baseball. So if you want to play a baseball game with NPB in it, your choices are Pawapuro or Pro Supi. And that's it. Some chat in the dugout there, keeping the mood light. In this punch-counterpunch kind of a game, through 3.5, we're at 1:30 in the morning already here on the East Coast.
All right, so I do have some information on Nomura in left field for you.
Go for it.
From what I'm able to see, looking at the fielding stats for him, he's played a total of 69 innings this year in left field. And as far as I can tell, he hasn't had any issues, if any at all. No errors, pretty much. Yeah, everything looks fine on Nomura for left field. It's not a big sample size, but
fair enough. Kazunada Ishii had the RBI single that started the deluge last inning, or 2 innings ago. That 6-run bottom of the second that handed the Fighters the lead. Seiryu Uchi out for his 3rd inning of relief work here. Effectively. Came in the bottom of the second, pitched a scoreless 1-2-3, bottom of the 3rd. Only thrown 14 pitches, so, effective. Uchi. Come set. There's that Yamamoto-like pitching motion. splitter, slider, curve, but that fastball is his primary weapon. We're seeing a lot of those splits up in the zone. 3-1 the count on Ishii. That'll be a souvenir. Full count. That would be manager Hajime Miki keeping an eye on things over in the Eagles' dugout. And I'm positive my cat gets confused because his name is Mickey. Sound off in the chat if you've got pets. Are you keeping them up by watching? Full count on the way from Uchi. And Ishii is just spoiling them here. Some folks with cats, some folks with dogs. Oh, Eric, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up. My condolences, man. 8th pitch of the at-bat on the way from Uchi. I retract my previous comment about pitch count. This one's into the backstop. Horiuchi's going to give it a look. And Mike, this reminds me of a certain Toshiki Abe and his rather voluminous fouling off of pitches. Your nemesis, after all.
Yeah, it seems that likes to follow us around from game to game at this point. Been about 2 years now, and I think every game we have a similar at-bat.
Yeah, and we always name-check Toshiki Abe, too.
Go get his jersey.
Get his cheer towel, at least, you know?
Make peace with him by, getting his merchandise, in my opinion.
Try to summon him, like by doing the Shubidi Bop song or something. 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up. That makes up more than half of Uchi's total pitch count in this one at-bat. Ishii not going quietly. That'll be a fly ball into right. On the fence is Nakashima. And there at last is the first out. Mizutani had a single and a line drive out so far. 1 for 2. Keeping up his ridiculous pace. Also loving the blend of fighters' designs in the Owendan, the cheer section. We got some first generation Hokkaido. We got some second, some Otani era. Uchi drops a splitter in for strike 1. Mizutani tries to inside out this one. Nakashima will make the grab about belt height for the second out of the inning. Kiomia 1 for 1 with a sack bunt. Oh, sorry, 0 for 0. My mistake. He walked his second at bat. See Mizutani having a chat with his teammates. J-Dog, I have a jersey from each NPB team, including the Osaka Kintetsu Buffaloes. I got a Tuffy Rhodes jersey. Fastball from Uchi. Strike 1. That is correct, Bruin. His name is Mizutani. Big swing and a miss over a breaking ball. And Tamiya is down early. 0-2. Tamiya put up a 693 OPS last season, taking over the job from Torai Fushimi, who's a former Oryx Buffalo. Fushimi still with the club. They carry like 6 catchers in their 70-man roster, you know? Army Chow Mein, Mizutani is half Nigerian. Kiomia is retired. And through 4, it's Fighter 6, Eagles 5.
Not close on the number of jerseys that I have. Nowhere close to having all of them, but I do have a decent collection of jerseys, as they're called. Looking in the chat, talking about hats, I was at a pop-up throwback baseball shop a couple years ago in a Tokyo train station. I don't remember which one, and I wanted to buy the Blue Wave throwback hat, and they were all out of the Velcro strap ones on the back, and the only one they had left was a fitted one that was much too big for my head, sadly.
I have been talking on mute for the last little bit. Thank you, Mike.
I was wondering what was going on.
Well, I was chuckling over Luke Voigt's hit celebration there. Popping a top, cracking a cold one. Itsuki Murabayashi grounded into a fielder's choice and reached on an error. First time batting with a runner on base. Murabayashi in the batting race, along with Tatsuru Yanagimachi, Ryoma Nishikawa. You see Luke Voigt with the oven mitt there. Second hit for the day for Luke Voigt. Among the trivia on Murabayashi is his distinctive eye shape. People say he looks an awful lot like a kabuki performer. I'm going to have to look up the exact name. Hang on a second. People say he looks like Danjiro Ichikawa. Having not seen what Danjiro looks like, I will take their word for it. Kevin D asking what happened to Muneyama. Rui's just got the day off, that's all. 85 pitches for Kota Tatsu. Given the way the second ended, you'd be surprised for seeing him still out here and throwing. But credit where credit is due, Shinjo is believing in his guys. And he's been staked to a lead, and he's kept it. Hit right back up the middle. Tatsu collects it. That'll be a double play! Well now! Hello, future me on the top 10 plays. Kota Tatsu. Right up the middle, catches it in the breadbasket and fires to third on the money, or to first on the money. Whew, cup check. Gunji's like, you're not overthrowing me this time. Gonzalez, loud fly ball to center field. Yazawa up against the warning track. Leaping makes the oh, it falls out of his glove. It will be a double. Oscar Gonzalez cruising into third. He is safe on the tag. Izawa could not come up with that. Oscar Gonzalez showing some gusto. Coach Kato out to have a brief chat with Kotatatsu to see what's going on. Forkball grip. Gonzalez goes down to find this one. That one was deceptive, and of course, you lose it in the bright lights of that glass wall. Izawa just mistimed his glove, and Oscar Gonzalez turned on the afterburners. That'll get the Rockets in faithful.
Thing for you, and yeah, I can see it.
Bearbach asking, how can you see more Fighters games? Well, watchdingo.com carries every game live as they happen. You can also subscribe to Pacific League TV and catch all games all season long, including an archive going back to 2012. So hey, if you want to watch some Shohei Ohtani highlights back when he was with the Fighters, you can totally do that. I'm going to score that one from Gonzalez a hit. I'm not sure if Yazawa really had a play on it, to be honest. This may be Tatsu's last inning. Kurokawa, 1 for 2 today. Tatsu still able to ramp it up to 150. That's low 90s in freedom units. Not the best frame job by Tamiya, but that finds the mark. Fans willing Kurokawa. Tying run at third. 2 down. Another fastball. Strike 2. East Bay mentioning watching some classic Yanagita bombs. Heck, if you look back to, I think it was August 14th, 2013, when the Eagles visit the Marines, top of the second, Toshiaki Imae makes a catch up the third base line. You'll see me in a Blue Jays jersey there. It's in 360p, I know, but it's me. And that was the first NPB game I ever saw. I have not had a chance to go through the other Pacific League hosted games for my 2019 trip to see if I show up. I was wearing, I might have blended in with the crowd at that point. I definitely wasn't wearing a Blue Jays jersey. Bounced in the dirt, full count, all the lights on the scoreboard lit. Randall saying y'all need to cover some of the summer Koshien games. Sadly, not part of our rights. We are a Pacific League only channel, and as a result, we are limited with what we can broadcast to just the Pacific League. Still 125 of y'all chatting away as we continue to work here. Top of the third, or top of the fifth. Payoff pitch on the way from Tatsu. Chopped foul up the first base line. You see, Mizutani was already standing basically on the foul line, waiting for that one. Kurokawa has a familial connection to a major leaguer. His father was a baseball teammate with Hiroki Kuroda in high school, as well as the current Eagles manager, Hajime Miki. Big Boss Shinjo keeping an eye on things. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming here against Kurokawa. That one is foul up against the fence there. Bat Boy had to scurry for cover. Kurokawa trying his level best to keep that. Oh, it looks like it clanked off the door there. Impressive. Tatsu wondering what it's going to take to get Kurokawa out. Popped up. Playable. Tamiya is going to give it a look. Inning over. Another 0 on the scoreboard. Oscar Gonzalez is stranded at third, and holy smokes, that Tatsu 1-3 double play looms large. Reyes, Nomura, Kiomia coming up in the bottom of the fifth. We're halfway home on the Midnight Matinee. Thanks for joining us here on the Pacific League English YouTube channel. Out-of-town scoreboard update. SoftBank Hawks and Cebu Lions at Mizuho Pepe Dome. Bottom of 7th. Hawks lead 3-1. Over at Hotomoto Field, Kobe, the Oryx Buffaloes. Oh, apparently they're back at Kyocera Dome. My mistake. At Kyocera Dome, the Oryx Buffaloes down 1-0 to the Lotte Marines. Bottom of the third. If you want to watch those games, our buddies over at Dingo TV are your place to go. If you're in North America, watch dingo.com and look for the Baseball Network. Or you can open up the wallet, swipe that credit card, and sign up for Pacific League TV. All games, video on demand. Fjord Fjorlane meets, yes. Kalen Ego, yeah, you may have missed the big hit. John Perry, why were they playing on the other field the past couple games? Well, because the Oryx franchise played for a good decade in Kobe as the Oryx Blue Wave before they merged with the Buffaloes. There's the replay of that grand slam by Franmil Reyes that flipped the script, the score, and handed the Fighters the lead. 16th home run of the season, adding to his 40... Is that 47 RBI? I can't tell if that was the RBI or if it was the 60-something. Either way, he leads the Pacific League in that number, too. Big cut over an Uchi fastball. 0-2. Now, Mike, you might know more about Uchi than me. This kind of multi-inning appearance is not common for him. He's already thrown 2 complete innings. Next out will make it 3 complete.
Yeah, that's not normally how they use him. So, Rocking's doing a lot of weird stuff this year, honestly.
Breaking ball misses up and away for ball 1. Well, it may be working because they're not in the basement. Or at least proving me wrong on that. 1-2 on the way. Brush back fastball for ball 2. Franmil's a big man. Strike zone is equally big. Two on the way. Muffed in the dirt for a full count. Fair enough, Uchi. You do not want to give Franmil something to drive. He's already done that. I do wonder who is going to be next out of the Fighters or the Eagles bullpen at this point. Reyes lofts this one, but that will head into foul territory and stay that way. Off the netting. That hit the power zone. I don't know if Reyes is using a torpedo bat. I remember they were starting to investigate those. Do you remember who was among the players using them? I think Nomura was one of them.
Manami, I believe, was the one of the earliest adopters, I want to say.
That sounds about right. Called strike 3. Reyes goes down looking to Seiryu Uchi. That might be a good frame job by Horiuchi. Reyes not liking the strike call. Uchi liking the strike call. Udi's torpedo bat is not banned in NPB. They just authorized it this year. It's just not that common. Yuki Nomura, a walk and a ground out so far tonight. Uchi now going for his 13th batter of the game. And that's laced into left field for a 1-out single. Eric G with some nice insight. Mentioned that Reyes uses the end of the bat a lot. Torpedoes probably won't help him out much. Kotaro Kiyomiya. One thing I discovered when researching, his jersey number is a point of pride for him. He likens it to Roberto Clemente. He wants to turn it from a pitcher's number to a hitter's number here in Japan. And he's headed to the All-Star game, the top fan vote getter at third base. Reyes got the nod at DH for the All-Star game, his first appearance. Chusei Manami not appearing in this game. The top vote getter overall among the fans. Runner at first, 1 out. Kiomia working against Seiryu Uchi. Lofted to center field. Tatsumi reaches it above his head. And that'll chase back Nomura. 2 down here for Tatsuki Mizuno. Bullpen activity for the Fighters. Ryusei Kawano getting loose. One of the top setup men in the Fighters bullpen. It'll be interesting to see how he handles these Eagles. If that's the end of Kota Tatsu's day, he at least leaves in line for the win, which would mean he'd continue his streak to 7 straight games, or 7 consecutive winning decisions as a starter. Before we bid farewell to Kota Tatsu, I did want to mention he's a Rapsodo user. He saw Yu Darvish use one, and he acquired one and shares it with his teammates. Called strike 1. Seiryu Uchi still working here. Slider sliding away. One, 2 down, runner at first. And I am looking at the wrong game in my scorebook. Lace to right field, going to be a tough play. Nope, Nakashima makes the grab. Deceptive. Uchi does a job. 3 2/3 scoreless innings.
Okay, everybody, ここから YMCA の時間です。今日はファイターズダンスアカデミー
And yes, you're not mistaken. The PA for the Fighters is bilingual. And there's my Melody, one of the Sanrio characters here for Kawaii Week. She'll be joining for the YMCA dance. All right, through 5 innings, which means it's time for a highlight reel. In the middle of the game you're watching, if you're just joining us, hello, Gabe Lerman and Michael Bealey here for the Midnight Matinee on the Pacific League English YouTube channel. It's midnight and mountain time, so hey, name's still accurate. Luke Voigt just recently signed to a contract with the Eagles. He starts the scoring early by scoring Hiroto Kobukata, who had a double, and makes it a 1-0 Eagles lead against Kota Tatsu, today's starting pitcher. We head to the top of the second. Oscar Gonzalez chops this to Kiomia, who bins this one. That ends up in shallow right, and Gonzalez will end up at second. Kurokawa pulls this up the line and fair. Yuya Gunji leaps for it, can't quite come up with it. Gonzalez will score and make it a 2-0 game. Kengo Horiuchi continuing his hot streak and stealing the catcher position from Hikaru Ota. He's hyped. 3-0 Eagles. To the bottom of the inning we go. Yazawa at first. Bases loaded for Kazunari Ishii, who lost this to center field, scoring Mizuno and Gunji from third and second respectively. And after Tamiya gets aboard, Franmil Reyes says, "I'm hungry." You think he's well loved here in Hokkaido? A big man with a big plan. His 41st career NPB home run and 16th of the season to extend his lead. Kobukata again. This is popped up in the left. Nomura can't chase it down. Kobukata's double scores Tatsumi and makes it a 6-5 game, and that's about where we are right now. Funnily, you should mention Kudomi, Emily. Kudomi's showing up next Sunday. So if you tune in to WatchDingo.com, FTF Sports, or Pacific League TV, you'll be able to watch Kudomi do the YMCA dance. How we've avoided a copyright strike, I do not know. Ryusei Kawano entering the game. This is his 6th pro season. He's turned into one of the best setup men in the Pacific League, thanks to that incredibly janky delivery. The swinging leg really disrupts hitters' timing. Never mind the Cueto shimmy shuffle. Kawano's got a leg kick all his own. In terms of holds, he sits tied for third with Naoto Nishiguchi of the Eagles and Trey Wingenter of the Lions for most holds in the league. Luis Perdomo ahead of them, 22 for the Buffaloes. I think that was Yuki Matsumoto, the league leader, with 23. Fjord Fjerlane saying, "Sweep the leg." Maybe. Fastball cutter mix primarily from Kawano. Changeup, curveball, slider, and sinker also in the arsenal, but when the two pitches are that good, you really don't need much else. Rakuten busting out the Don't Call It the Tomahawk Chop song to start off the top of the 6th here. Kengo Horiuchi 1 for 2 today. 21 for 67 on the young season. Young season, what am I talking about? We're halfway done. Mike, you got anything else on Ryusei Kawano that we need to know about?
Looking into it right now for you. Trying to get his max velocities and stuff.
Thank you. Cutter misses away for ball 1. Kengo Horiuchi. Lefty on lefty matchup here with Kawano. I'm just going to start nicknaming him the Jank at this point. Hey, Pierre checking in from the Philippines. It's not a fighter's game without you in the chat, my man. 135 folks in the chat right now. This has got to be one of the most consistently attended games we've had in a long time. So, thank you for making us a part of your weekend. Checked swing. Did he go? No. 2-1. Remember, folks, our next game will be Sunday, August 17th at 12 a.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on Saturday, August 16th, as the Oryx Buffaloes host the Saitama Seibu Lions at Kyocera Dome. With our season finale, our One Baseball for Breakfast, Saturday, September 27th, 5 a.m. Eastern, the Chiba Lotte Marines host these Hokkaido Nippon Ham fighters. 2-2 on the way. Punched. That's going to land in no man's land. Horiuchi, second hit of the day. And just like that, the tying run is once again on base for the Eagles. He was stranded at third last inning. That was Oscar Gonzalez. This very defensive swing. Successful doink.
All right, so what I have for Kawano here, it's, I guess opening this up was kind of a red herring because as soon as I opened it, he got the hit, but his cutter has a batting average against of 152 and his fastball 125, so that combo's been really good for him, and he throws them 53% of the time for the cutter and 34% of the time for the fastball.
Thank you, Mike. You know, you're right. I hear the ump almost saying it's a strike, but I know it's not because it's like muffed in the dirt. Runner at first. Here's Tatsumi. Strike one. Tatsumi's 4 straight Golden Gloves mean he is, the best defender in the outfield in NPB. He also holds the NPB record for most putouts in a single season, 397. That was a season or two ago when he played all 143 games. I know that platoon splits aren't as much of a thing in Japan, but you have to wonder if they're calling up Kawano a setup man in the 6th because of a lot of lefties coming up. Like Tatsumi. 1-2 on the way. Tamiya setting up outside. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Lovely work on that cutter there. Tatsumi just has to grin and bear it. Lord of the Wog enjoying the leg movement here of Ryusei Kawano. Daisuke Nakashima, the right fielder. 0 for 3 today, but one of those was a bunt. Kobukata looming, who has 2 doubles already on the day, a double-double. Kawano keeps an eye on Horiuchi over at first. Not really a base-stealing threat, even in a Hajime Miki Rakuten team. Taking another look at that slider from Kawano. Completely across the plate. Lots of glove side run on that one. One thing I do wonder, Mike, is are all the pitch signs in the strike zone actual pitches that the player throws or just there for information?
The ones on the right, yeah, those do match up with the report that I have on Kawano, so I believe so, but also it could be a little bit of both now that I look at it a bit closer.
One thing I have to figure out at some point is what the correct capitalization of SCON is. Just so when I'm writing my show notes, I don't know if I'm shouting or not. Kawano doing a check-in on Horiuchi. Not really a base-stealing threat, but might as good to check in on him anyway.
With SCON, I always get a little giggle if I'm on Yahoo or SportsNabby. The auto-translate always translates it to Ace Combat F, which sounds like a fun game to me. I know about the other Ace Combats, I didn't know there was an F.
Or like Miguel Yahure, formerly of the Swallows, now on the Eagles, and his name getting translated to Yahoo! That's laced into right center field. That could tie the game. Picked up by Izawa. The runner will come in. Hits the relay man, but no dice. Daisuke Nakashima, his biggest hit of the day. Blown save. Kawano. Eagles tie it at 6. Big Boss Shinjo wishes to report this post for community standards.
We've all been there.
Yep. Nakashima wins the lefty-on-lefty battle, splits the outfielders. Are we calling that a triple or a double and advance on the throw?
I'm still learning how to score, so I'm just drawing the line right at third.
I know, right? High for ball 1. And now the go-ahead run stands at third in Daisuke Nakashima, which also means that Tatsu's getting tagged with a no decision. So the streak is intact, just not the way he was hoping. Emily, if going to a Fighters game is on your bucket list, make sure you check out ticketsinjapan.com, the Pacific League's official English language ticket provider. All 6 teams are there, and with a full English purchasing process, no futzing around with Google Translate or accidentally buying the ticket to the wrong game like I did back in 2019.
Like, how wrong of a game are we talking? Like next
One
month
day
or like
off.
a different team? Oh, I see.
Yeah, table formatting broke. This was back in 2019, to be fair, so this was still Sapporo Dome. All right, Eric G's bringing up Tower 11 again. I got to bring it up. It's a hotel in right field. It's got a hot spring built into it, and yes, you can sleep overnight there. I think they also have a campground now in the ballpark village near Escon Field. 1-2 on the way from Kawano. Check swing. Called a strike 3 by the home plate ump. Kobukata now 2 doubles, 2 strikeouts. That broke the plane. Shinjo overseeing things. Looks like we may be getting a pitching change here. Yep, Kawano, responsible for the runner at third, gets 2 of the 3 guys he's supposed to get. And will be bouncing from this ballpark. Tied at 6 here. As Hideto Asamura, a right-handed batter, will wait to see who he faces. Fjord asking if someone hits a ball into the Hot Spring Hotel, is that a hot ball home run? Well, nobody's done it yet.
Pitching for the Fighters, number 48, Kiomia. Saito.
Now entering the game from the Fighters bullpen, Yukiya Saito, acquired from the Hanshin Tigers in the 2022 offseason. Ryo Watanabe and Yuto Takahama heading to Nishinomiya, Taiga Egoshi, and Yukiya Saito coming to the Fighters. So he's been here since 2023. Pitch mix, primarily fastball, forkball, slider. He will occasionally throw a curveball, but not that often. The off-speed stuff is deadly. In 2024, opponents hit only 103 off the forkball and only 125 off the slider. And you see there, former member of the Honda Industrial League team. One save on the season so far, 1.85 ERA, as folks have been mentioning in the chat. Fighters' bullpen's been pretty strong. Closer the one wobbly part, but I figure you remix the parts often enough and something will click into place. I don't know about you, Mike, but I am going to be a mute tomorrow. Been a lot of talking here.
Yeah, I gotta be up around like 7 tomorrow to go somewhere, so I don't know how I'm gonna function, but I'll have fun now while I can.
Quick out-of-town scoreboard update. Although Neftali Soto hit his 8th home run of the season in the second for the Lotte Marines, the Orcs Buffaloes broke it open in the bottom of the third and lead 3-1. Alan Curry has scattered 7 Lotte hits, only allowing the 1 run. I remember there was a commentary earlier about, hey, where's the commercial breaks? Well, we're basically broadcasting all the way through them. Pacific League TV does not have commercial breaks. So you get to see all the in-stadium stuff like the Lucky Seventh, like the Fox Dance. Again, tying run, or go-ahead run, standing at third. Up here in the upper deck, there's the cheer section for the Eagles. Fans travel well. Now, I do want to point out that the Fighters are the furthest afield of all the teams in NPB. Unlike most, where you can get to a ball from one ballpark to the other with, at most, a 3 or 4 hour bullet train ride, you gotta fly up to Kita, Hiroshima. Trust me, I did the 8-hour train trip. The bullet train does not go all the way to Sapporo. It is a slug. 1-1 on the way from Saito. Checked swing, did not go. 2-1.
Did you see the new tourism initiative? If you're a tourist, a foreign tourist, you can fly within the country for free for this year, I believe.
Really? I guess that's one way to free up capacity on the bullet trains.
I believe it's Japan Airlines, but I'm not 100% on that.
But also, like, my carbon footprint. I know I wear a size 11.5, but come on, I don't need it to be any bigger.
But it's free.
You only pay with your soul. 2-1 on the way. Big cut there by Asamura. There's those splitters all the way down in the zone. His profile calls them forkballs. Tracker's calling them splitters. Very similar shapes, I can tell. Ah, Eric G saying you have to fly JL inbound to get the promotion. There's the rub. I do not have a direct flight.
I don't even know where near me I can get a JAL flight. We have ANA. I gotta go pretty far out for that.
Apologies, my phone just decided to start doing stuff on its own. Possessed by spirits at 2:22 a.m.
Maybe it was Spirit Airways.
Ha
Just
ha
your
ha.
phone.
4 straight splitters down in the zone. Yukiya Saito shaking off everything. Tamiya wondering what the heck he's got left in terms of signals. At this point, it's just throw something. Full count. Payoff pitch on the way. Low, ball 4, and Asamura is walked. That'll be runners at the corners with 2 down for Luke Voigt, who already has 2 hits on the day. Question from Fjord Fjordlane. How long did the fighters play in Tokyo? From their foundation in the 1930s as the Tokyo Senators, all the way to 2003, which was their final season in Tokyo. They were buddies with the Giants at Tokyo Dome, roommates effectively. And in fact, the fighters will have a few home games at Tokyo Dome as a sign of gratitude to their former fans. Same reason why the Buffaloes play in Hotomoto Field, Kobe. Eric G, the Tokyo Flyers are the fighters now. Yeah. You got it right. Luke Voigt. See some American flags out there in the Owendon, cheering on the new edition. Fastball 155 on the radar gun. Pretty spicy from Yukiya. That's Nakashima over at third, Asamura at first. And we just saw a fastball at 96 miles per hour. Low in the zone to Luke Voigt. 157 on the radar gun. That's 97.5 miles an hour. Saito turning on the afterburners. Joseph A. again with the incredible fighter's knowledge in the chat. Saito can get up to 98, he says. You have to wonder, though, if Luke Voigt is familiar with the velo. Another big fastball. Here's my best. Go and hit it, Luke. Now, Mike, at this point, you're got to be thinking off speed, right?
Yeah, one would think so. At least I would think so.
The 98 man. Why do I hear boss music? Why do I hear boss music?
It's getting louder.
I'm going to start referring to chance musics as boss music at this point. Because that's what that is. There's basically, each team has multiple songs specifically for a runner in scoring position. And this is one of Rakuten's. Broken bat over to third. Kiomia across the diamond. On the money this time. The game is tied, but it'll stay that way. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Tied at 6 here on the Midnight Matinee. Gunji, Yazawa, and Ishii coming up for the fighters.
本日試合終了後に開催するアフターゲームフィールドではファイターズかわいいシリーズスペシャルダンスショーを開催します。マイメロディー、フレック、ポリー、ファイターズガールのこの日限りのコラボをお楽しみください。ステージは3連続となります。可愛くて楽しいダンスパフォーマンスで盛り上がりましょう。さあ、それではファイターズの逆転と3連勝を信じて応援していきましょう。以上、竹谷美優でした。
ゴールデンイーグルスのピッチャーの交代をお知らせいたします。内に代わりまして藤平、ピッチャー藤平、背番号46。
Question from Randall. Y'all both Blue Jays fans? Well, Jimbo Bernicki, who started this broadcast with us, is not a Blue Jays fan, even though he's located in Montreal. I think he's more of a Yankees guy.
Somehow.
Yeah, go figure. And, of course, Mike, you're located in the Philly area, so by default, you are cheering for the Fightin' Phils.
Oh, of course.
You have a look at Daisuke Nakashima, who had the game-tying hit there. New pitcher out of the Eagles bullpen is Shuma Fujihara. 4.13 ERA. Sorry, Shoma Fujihara. Member of the Premier 12 Club that finished silver. Member of the Eagles since 2017. 2-pitch mix, basically. Fastball, forkball. He'll mix in a curveball just to fool people. Had a 31.9 strikeout percentage in the 2024 season. Second among all pitchers with 30 or more innings. As Gunji fouls this one back. Of course, the teams are using all the pitchers that I don't have show notes for. If you do go take in a Japanese baseball game, I insist the way to find your favorite club is to sit in the cheer section. You got to do it at least once. That will become your ride or die NPB team. It's hard not to get sucked up into that atmosphere. Devin asking, don't we have a guy from Denver usually in here? Yeah, unfortunately Matt Seivert is dead to the world at the moment. He had way too much to do over the last week and is cooked. So you have to look at Seiryu Uchi's work and be impressed. 3 2/3 of scoreless relief. 2-2 on the way to Gunji. Chopped up the middle. Tempted to be fielded by someone, anyone, and it's thrown away! Gunji thought about bolting for second. He'll sneak back into first instead. Tough play. You might have to score that one a single. Yuya Gunji's second hit of the day. Fujihara tried to come up with it. No dice. So, with Gunji standing at first, it'll be Kota Yazawa, the center fielder. Eric saying, nah, it's an E5. If you say so. That means both teams have had an error from their third baseman tonight. Ishii on deck. Fujihara. Quick check-in on Gunji over at first. Devin, up to 25 NPB games seen now. Well, if we're talking in person, I think you beat me. I'm only sitting at 15. Fastball pumped in for a strike.
I think I'm at a resounding 4 in person.
And then there's, of course, all these broadcasts that we do. We average about once a month. We're keeping to that this season. If you missed the last 3, hey, go check them out here on the channel. Just flip over to the live tab, and you can see our archive of Pacific League Midnight Matinee and Baseball for Breakfast games. We've got 1 interleague. We've got 1 postseason. We've got our fair share of walk-offs. I feel like actually we've seen more than our fair share of walk-offs. Most of which involve the fighters in some way, shape, or form. Bottom of 6, tied at 6. Fujihara keeps checking in on Gunji. Ishii on deck. Feels lonely over there, doesn't it? 1-1 on the way. First breaking ball we've seen from Fujihara. You see that forkball grip. I admit I'm still looking for something to convince me that Yazawa has prospect value. If I was Shinjo, I'd be running like Ryota Isobata or Daiki Asama in center field. But that's why I'm not an NPB coach or manager. Army Chow Mein, Gunji reached base courtesy of a throwing error by Kurokawa. Yeah, debatable providence in terms of how exactly, but he's there. 1-2 on the way from Fujihara. Swing and a miss on a foul tip. And that'll be a strikeout for Yazawa. Yazawa with a very defensive-looking swing. Ishii 1 for 2 today. Batting average is nothing to sniff at, true, but he's there because he's a defensive stud at second base. J-Dog, if you want more of the Fighter PA voice, go look up Big Malachi, M-A-L-A-C-H-I, on Instagram. Malachi Evans posts there frequently, including stuff from the booth. Runner at first, 1 out. Called strike on this breaking ball. Fujihara participated in the Premier 12, as previously mentioned. Picked up a save, 6 innings with 12 strikeouts. So he's pretty good. Fastball. Lighten up the radar gun here. Fujihara was a first-round selection of the Eagles from Yokohama High School. He was originally planned to be a starting pitcher, but couldn't quite figure it out. This is his first season full-time in the bullpen. And it's borne fruit. Another strikeout for Fujihara. Back-to-back Ks. So that brings up Mizutani.
Sir, Mizutani.
Mizutani picked up a 779 OPS in 97 games last year. He was selected from the Hawks in the active player draft back in 2023. So the Hawks were just sitting on him, not playing him. Comes over to the Fighters and becomes a key part of a postseason team. And now, a possible pennant winner. I do wonder if more teams are going to start picking on the Hawks, specifically because of how good their development has been. Ditto for the Buffaloes and their pitching staff. The Buffaloes pitching lab remains undefeated. Fastball at 153 on the radar gun. Makes it a 0-2 count. For those of you in Freedom units, that's around 95 miles an hour. Fans cheering along, trying to will Mizutani to show some of that hard hit percentage that he's coming into today's game with. 0-2 on the way from Fujihara. Called strike 3! That is striking out the side around the error. Heck of a performance by Shoma Fujihara. That brings us to the top half of the 7th and the lucky 7. Sing along if you know the words. You want to talk about how Japanese baseball is different? Just imagine in the North American ballparks, the visiting team 7th inning stretch song being played.
Yeah, I don't think I could allow that at a Phillies game. I think I'd have to take matters into my own hands. Especially if, like, Meet the Mets was playing.
Like, I keep thinking if it was, for example, Yankee Stadium and Sweet Caroline or OK Blue Jays comes over the PA, I'm pretty sure the lusty boos could have been heard from anywhere.
I kind of would pay to see that, though. Like, not gonna lie.
Taisho Tamai into the game for the Fighters, coming out of the bullpen. 3 primary pitches are fastball, shuto, and cutter, so all fast stuff, just varying degrees of movement. Does also have a slider, a forkball, and a changeup, but he doesn't really use those as much. Missed playing with the top club for all of last season, but adjusted his throwing arm height. Seems to be paying dividends, a sub-2 ERA. I'll take it. People are saying, yes, it'd be hilarious. True, but I don't want to wear someone else's drink, you know? Itsuki Murabayashi. No hits, reached on an error, a fielder's choice, and lined into a double play. Excellent floating pitch there. Called a slider. It looked like a breaking pitch. I'm not sure what kind of fosh ball that was, but definitely took a lot of heat off the velocity. One on the way to Itsuki. Lined to second, outside of the reach of Ishii and into right field. Murabayashi finds himself once again in the middle of the happenings. He's reached base for the 3rd time tonight. Oscar Gonzalez reached and scored on an error, flew out to center field, and then hit a triple and got stranded at 3rd. If it wasn't for that Murabayashi double play, the Eagles would have the lead at this point. Scott Newsom mentioning they play the opponent's songs in Aussie rules games. That is fair. Maybe it's something to do with the Pacific Ocean and a different structure to sport there.
I honestly, the Pacific Ocean could make people more friendly. Like, when I go out west, people are much friendlier out there. Could be something in the ocean.
I guess this is Oscar Gonzalez asking himself, have I ever seen a shooter before, or a shuto? He's seen 2 of them back to back. Fastball in, strike 2. It really is an intriguing pitch, regardless of whether or not it's like a true gyro ball or not. The fact that it's got arm side run, inverse slider, makes it a rarity. And trouble for same-handedness batters. Swing and a miss from Gonzalez. Tamai picks up the strikeout.
7番スタート黒川
Kurokawa hit a double and scored in the top of the 2nd. 1 for 3 today. Batting .304, including today's game. See, this is one reason why I can't get uppity about jersey advertisements in the majors. My favorite team's visiting jersey has a financial services company plastered on the front instead of the city in which they play. it blends into the background noise here.
Yeah, they've never bothered me either, really. Just as long as they don't get, like, too crazy with them.
Yeah, not like European hockey or anything like that. Or F1. As we inch towards 3 a.m. Eastern, we're still in the top of the 7th. This may be one of those we see the sunrise games, Mike.
That's every fighter's game we do, I think. They're a big fan of extending the game.
Dots the I on the outside corner. Tamai, again, focuses on changing horizontal break between the shuto, the fastball, and the cutter. Lord of the Wog mentioning Venezuelan winter leagues and those overly accessorized jerseys. One's across the scoreboard. Called a ball at the top of the zone. Tamai. Down 2-1 in the count. Kurokawa at the plate. Horiuchi on deck. Not sure where that one missed. That may have been a bad frame job by Tamiya. 3-1 the count now. Tamai keeping an eye on the runner at first. Murabayashi. We haven't seen a stolen base yet this game, which is unlike the Eagles. Fastball catches the top of the zone to make the count full. That is the final score over at Mizuho Pepe Dome. SoftBank Hawks 3, Seibu Lions 1. Chihiro Sumida takes the loss while only allowing the 3 runs. The win goes to Nao Higashihama. Save to Kazuki Sugiyama. Bottom of 5th, Orcs Buffaloes lead 3-1. Ryo Ota at the plate. And I'm also want to wish a congratulations to fans of the Carp. The shutout streak is finally over. Payoff pitch on the way to Kurokawa. Foul tip and a thrown out. Kurokawa or Murabayashi. I was mentioning, are we going to see some base running? Strike him out, throw him out, double play to send us to the home side of the Lucky 7. Sing along to the Fighters hymn if you know the words.
ちとおすちにおい
Tamiya, Reyes, and Nomura coming up for the fighters in the home half of the 7th. Lid closed here at Escon Field, Hokkaido in the Sapporo suburb of Kita, Hiroshima. I've been in Japan in July and August. You do not want to be outdoors too long. There's a reason the vending machines are every 300 meters.
Yeah, I didn't get to do my usual April trip this year, and now I gotta wait until the fall because me and anything above 60-some degrees does not work.
Atsui desu ne.
Hi.
Big Boss Shinjo likes this post. Tamiya, part of that strike him out, throw him out double play last inning. New pitcher into the game for the Eagles. That would be Ren Kajiya. I was hoping we'd see him because he's a really interesting profile in terms of a pitcher. Former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk from 2014 to 2020. Hanshin Tiger from 2021 to 2024. This is his first season in Sendai. Fastball, curveball, slider, cutter, and a very fast forkball. 140 kilometers per hour. So back in the Pacific League, Ren Kajiya gets to work. Tamiya has a flair for the dramatic, if you remember. It was either the game-tying triple or the RBI single that followed it up that earned him a hero interview in one of our early midnight matinees last season. Oh, one on the way. Check swing. Did he go? Nope. Most relievers do not feature a curveball as their primary breaking ball, but Kajiya is a bit of an odd duck in that respect. One on the way. Tamiya shows bunt. In this case, he did break the plane. There's that hard forkball we've mentioned. Get a good glimpse at Tamiya. Yeah, that was a clear breaking the plane, my dude. Tamiya in the hole against Kajiya, 1-2. Big swing and a miss over the curveball. The question is, does Franmil Reyes have another big hit in him? 4 straight eggs on the scoreboard for the fighters since the Grand Slam. Eric G calling a single. All right. Fastball misses away for ball 1. Kajiya deals. Finds the inside corner for strike 1. That might be a frame job by Horiguchi. Franmil not thrilled with the strike zone tonight. Franmil calls time. No pitch clock here after all. Breaking ball low for ball 2. This reminds me of I remember in Out of the Park Baseball, one of my teams had a player who had just a fastball, like no breaking pitches at all. It's like, here it is, good luck. Not a very effective one. Beautiful ballpark, you have to admit. Interesting chat or a commentary going on the chat around the NPB baseball. Pre-tacked, slightly smaller, but I think you still have to argue it's kind of a mush ball the last few seasons. This time Reyes walks. Shinjo is up out of his usual chair. We may see a pinch runner here. Yep, that's the pinch runner sign. And there's the fastest man on the team, Ryota Isobata, taking over at first base.
For the left field, Yuki Nobuka.
Ryota Isobata ran a 10.92 in the 100-meter dash in high school. He's battled with injuries, but he's healthy. And the designated pinch runner here for the Fighters. Army Chow Mein asking, what's the longest game in the channel's stream history? Well, let me go take a look. I think we had some... There you go, the standings for stolen bases. Tatsumi fourth with 12. Kobukata in the lead with 22.
I want to say 5 hours and 25 minutes, honestly.
That's popped up very high to center field. Easy play there for Tatsumi. I'm looking. I don't think we've... All right, so the record, 4 hours, 51 minutes, and it was Fighters versus Eagles.
I think I remember that one. Was that the walk-off?
That was the Kiomia walk-off in the first series in Escon Field Hokkaido history, yeah. Compared to our first stream this season, back on March 30th, which was 7 seconds over 3 hours. We also have one that was 2 hours and 47 minutes. September 12th, Fighters versus Buffalo. So, Fighters can go long, Fighters can go short, you know. They are flexible in that respect. Isobata on base. Everyone knows he's going to try and run. Kajiya trying to keep him there. Off he goes. Nope. You got a very good lead, but broke back, it looks like. That was tough. LGW, hey, long time no see. Isobata at first, 2 down. Kiyomiya waits on the second pitch of his at-bat from Kajiya. Well, it's midnight Pacific time, 3 a.m. Eastern. Midnight Matinee living up to its name. Thanks, Joseph, for the information on Isobata. 10.5 seconds going first to third, or going from home to third on a triple earlier this season. That is a looping curveball. for ball 2. So if it's a good gapper, this game could be untied with Isobata at first and Kiomia at the plate. Bounced in the dirt. Count is 3-1. Eagles manager Hajime Miki keeping an eye on the proceedings. Quick check-in on Isobata. Samura and Kajiya just going to play catch for a little bit. Zachary watching from the U.S. military in the Middle East. Hope you're having a safe and celebratory 4th of July weekend over there.
I think that's a first, honestly. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Full count. Curveball floated in, finds the zone. All the lights on the scoreboard are lit. Isobata, standing at first still, keeps getting a good break and going back. No Bruin, this is pure baseball. No disengaged limits, no 3-batter minimum, no pitch clock, no bigger bases. And hell, the other league doesn't even have the designated hitter. Full count on the way to Kiomia. Slapped foul. He's not giving up that easy. And yes, John Perry, no Manfred Man on second in extras. The games will just get called a tie after 12 innings, which, to be honest, I'm okay with, because if neither team has scored a win in 12 innings, maybe neither team deserves to win. Baseball, the great uniting force around the world. Kajiya deals the payoff pitch. Kiomia sends it high and deep to right center field. Way back and way gone! The Japanese Babe Ruth into the bullpen! And the Fighters lead 8-6. He got the walk-off win the last time these two teams featured on the Midnight Matinee. Here he gets the go-ahead 2-run bomb, his 6th of the season. And the Fighters are 6 outs away from picking up a crucial series sweep to keep pace with the Hawks and Buffaloes atop the Pacific League. Two-out, 2-run home run, no less. Tatsuki Mizuno. Singled and scored back in the second, 1 for 3 otherwise. Have yourself a game, Kotaro Kiyomiya, that makes up for the error, the throwing error back in the second. We might get to see Miyanishi tonight. Open question as to which pitcher is going to be taken over for the Fighters. You got Yamagawa, you've got Miyanishi, you've got Seigi Tanaka. We may see justice executed here. Eagles got 8-9-1 coming up. And Tatsuki Mizuno sends a flare into left field. Gonzalez will collect it. More 2-out hitting from the Fighters. Tatsuki with his second hit of the day. Another replay of that home run. Kiomia able to elevate and just drive the thing. And we've got a pinch hitter here. The mightiest arm in the outfield. Led the Pacific League with 11 outfield assists last season, closing in on 100 career home runs, 3 straight All-Star nods, and the top vote getter for all Pacific League players. And he loves his TV time. Kajiya drops a curveball in for strike 1. So, question for you, Mike. Does Manami make the WBC club next season, given how crowded that outfield can get?
I would see him more of a bench bat on the WBC roster. I do think he will play.
I mean, he does
saying
have the
something about
ability
how
to play
stacked that
first.
team would
That's
be.
true. Kiyomiya all smiles on the fighters bench. Yeah, between Kondo and Seiya Suzuki and Ukyo Shuto and Lars Nukbar, Manami scorches this second deck foul. Well now. All right, so does Manami come in and play first, or does Nomura come in from the outfield? You shift Mizutani to left, Manami to right. Ooh, East Bay bringing up Shota Morishita from the Tigers. That's a good one. Curveball, floated, ball 2. Eric's thinking Mizutani to left. Chili Enchilada checking in on the chat. A lot of ch sounds there. We still got 128 of you yahoos tuned in. Thank you for doing so. You're watching an absolute barn burner of a game. Called strike 3. Manami K's to end the bottom of the 7th, but Kotaro Kiyomiya punches it into the right field bullpens. Let's see what the defensive substitutions look like. Looks like there's going to be a discount on alcohol after the game if the fighters win. Yeah, Eric G, see what I mean? Like, Kajiya, very interesting pitcher. Well, one thing's for certain, Kiyomiya will stay in the game at third. And there's the announcement of the relief pitcher. So we called it. Manami takes over at third or in right field. Mizutani to left. Yuki Nomura to third. Seigi Tanaka into the game as the setup man, normally the closer. Here's the replay of that monster home run. Kotaro Kiyomiya coming up in the clutch. A happy Kotaro Kiyomiya is a beautiful thing, not gonna lie. After all the struggles he had at the early part of his career, the hype placed on him, to see him succeed in Hokkaido gives me the warm and fuzzies. New pitcher into the game for the 8th, Seiji Tanaka. Former starter for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks could not stay healthy, so he was selected by the Fighters as compensation for the Hawks signing away Kensuke Kondo. 11 saves on the season so far, to go with 45 over the last 2, having been converted to a closer. Here's your defensive update. Not quite the full Triple M outfield that I was expecting, but Go Matsumoto is still lurking somewhere in the farm system. Horiuchi watches strike one sail past. Kengo has singled and scored twice today. Tanaka's mostly a fastball guy, fork and cutter as primary off-speed stuff. Horiuchi sends this to left. That will fall fair. Mizutani was shaded to pull. And that's a Moda show, a 3-hit day for Kengo Horiuchi. Good luck getting your starting job back, Hikaru Ota. Horiuchi just muscling this one the other way. There you see the update. And that'll be the end of Horiuchi's day. Kengo will be getting a pinch runner. Quickly checking who's available still. You know, Nick Leva, I bet you could actually watch baseball around the clock. Let's not forget the other Asian leagues are going to be starting up soon. Kengo, you okay, dude? Is he, Aha, so he's not getting pinch run for. He's, just needed some maintenance. Did he swallow his gum or something? Ah, tweaked his leg, it looked like. Yeah, that's a hamstring injury. That's no bueno. Bearbach also pointing out Honkball Hofetklasse. That's right. I got to see a Amsterdam Pirates game. They played DSS Kinheim on my honeymoon last year. Ryosuke Tatsumi 2 for 3 today. Single and a double. Scored one of those times. Putting him in the 9th spot to basically be a second leadoff man. Stroke of genius by Miki. Forkball misses away. Yes, more honk on the honk ball. There's even a honk ball connection to this game as Ludovicus Jacobus Van Mil, or Luke Van Mil, played for the Eagles as part of his globe-trotting baseball adventure. Luke is, as the name implies, Dutch. Two on the count. Tatsumi at the plate. Hit hard. Is that a fair ball? I think it is not. No, it is foul. Ooh, that looked dangerous. Nomura is probably going to see that one in his nightmares tonight. A screamer off the bat of Tatsumi. Almost murders the umpire, too. Goodness. Clearly a foul ball, though. Two on the way. Tanaka trying to gut this one out. Called strike 3. Fastball at 155.
1番ライト中島
That's 96 on the Freedom Unit's radar gun. Replay of Daisuke Nakashima's double that knotted the scoring back in the 6th. He advanced to third on the throw. 1 for 4 today. Tanaka doing a cursory check-in on Horiuchi. You know you stayed up too long when the StreamYard duck looks like he's about to say something to you. Breaking
Like a
ball
good
misses
thing or
away,
a-
ball 1.
Or a bad thing. I don't think the duck would say anything bad.
I hope not. I haven't said anything bad about the duck.
He looks friendly.
3:15 in the morning here on the East Coast. Skied. Mizutani settles under it. For the second out here in the top of the 8th.
小深田
Kobukata. Double-double, 2 strikeouts. Has not had a chance to add to his stolen bases total yet either. The only stolen base attempt so far tonight, Itsuki Murabayashi getting caught at second by Tamiya. Nice breaking ball to start the at-bat. Here's that cutter, one of Tanaka's primary off-speed pitches. The other is forkball, like that one. No nibble on the forkball from Kobukata. I mean, LJW, I live in Canada. We measure height in feet and inches. We measure speed in kilometers. It's real weird. 153 on the radar gun, but low for ball 2. Fjord inches per hour. Okay, game respect game. I like it.
You know, for my regular day job, I had to take an exam recently, and they were like, "Oh, you need to know your Celsius conversions." But thanks to everything I do that's Japanese related, I can just straight up read Celsius, no problem. Plus, talking to a lot of other people that use Celsius, so I didn't have to study that at all. Really blew everyone's mind. I was like, "No, I can just read that."
It's like speaking another language. So desu ne.
Uh-huh.
Kobukata strikes out. Seiji Tanaka delivers justice. Open question if he's going to go for a 2-inning save or if someone else will go for the 9th. Bottom of the 8th, Fighters lead 8-6 here in the Midnight Matinee on the Pacific League English YouTube channel.
そこから左に向かってぐるっと一周します。大きく両手を合わせて立ち上がっていく。
Oh no, they do the wave here.
You know, I don't really like obsess with like eating meat like a lot of other like dudes do, but these ads are kind of making me hungry at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I know, right? I wouldn't call myself a meat hardo either, but I could go for some karage. And I already had Popeyes for dinner, for Pete's sake.
You guys have Popeyes over there?
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Big fan of their garlic wings. I find them better than the regular chicken, honestly.
J-Dog's showing food should be illegal on these streams. Well, it's either this or commercials for medical supplements. Your call.
Remember when they had the... Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of this broadcast, it is the copyrighted content of Pacific League TV and Pacific League Marketing. Please do not redistribute or retransmit without our written consent. In other words, keep it here on YouTube, folks.
I was gonna say, remember when they had those ads like that special like girls' night at the ballpark where they had the Buffaloes players like all dressed? Oh, that was with Jimbo, I think. Those ads were kind of crazy.
We mentioned one of the hold leaders was Ryusei Kawano. Here's the other one, Naoto Nishiguchi for the Eagles. Hajime Miki going with the good bullpen arms just to be safe after Kajiya gave up the go-ahead home run. Ninth season pro has not allowed a earned run this season. Fastball, slider, fork, change, curveball, cutter. And he's picked up pitches from his travels and other pitchers like Yuya Yanagi and Chihiro Kaneko, previously of the Fighters and Buffaloes. So the hope is go scoreless, hope to get something in the ninth, hand things over to Takahito Narimoto. That's got to be the game plan here, right? Yazawa singled and scored in the bottom of the second. 1 for 3 on the night. With Isobata already in as a pinch runner, you have to wonder who's left who could take over in center field. Do you go to Daiki Asama, maybe? On deck, Ishii and Mizutani. Here in the bottom of the eighth. 0-1 on the way from Nishiguchi. Again, that hesitation. Looks like his fastball has a lot of late life, too. At some point, Mike, I think we need to start developing a database of strictly the midnight matinee and baseball for breakfast games, just so we can track how people have done when we're watching. Izawa strikes out on 3 straight pitches.
That would be pretty fun. We can have a foul ball tracker for particular batters.
The Toshiki Abe list.
Call it like X Abe or something ridiculous like that.
Ex-Wabe.
Exactly.
Like many baseball players, Kazunari Ishii is on Instagram. Unlike most baseball players, he advertises his family's rice farm in Nakagawa Prefecture. Remember Shuta Tonosaki, coming from an apple farmer family. Kazunari Ishii, his family has the rice paddies. That's 5 straight strikes for Nishiguchi, and we are on immaculate inning watch. Let's see if the podcast jinx is for real here. 0-2 on the way to Ishii. There it goes. Never mind. Sleepy Mocha asking which of these guys will be joining the MLB. The fact that you call it the MLB is a little awkward. I thought it was just MLB. Joining the majors, probably Chusei Manami at some point if he can fix the breaking ball hole in his swing. The arm is there, absolutely. The home run power is there. Who knows? Maybe Fran will go back at some point. Guys do occasionally bounce between here and the majors. Okay, Miles Michaelis, Drew Verhagen went back to the majors and then back to the Fighters. He's with the club right now. Fjord, that is a terrible joke. 1-2 on the way. Ishii lined into the netting. Oh, goodness. I'm so glad that netting is there. I bet you're noticing all the cheer towels and whatnot. Every single player, no matter how small their role on the team, has at least a cheer towel. I actually have one for the Fighters myself. It's a former Blue Jay, Gosuke Kato, when he had a season or two with the club. I also have a cheer towel for just the generic Buffaloes, and one for a player who is now retired on the Eagles, Ginji. No last name, he just goes by Ginji, because Ginji is my homeboy.
There's a Twitter account I follow where the guy posts like pictures of NPB players over the decades that, you know, never really played, and all they have is like that one picture of them. I wonder how many people out there have cheer towels of like guys that got like one at bat. So I know there's probably a lot of those out there.
I can believe it. At some point on the podcast, I have to explain the story behind Ginji is my homeboy. It's not like I've ever met the guy.
Yet. There's always hope.
This is true. And that answers the question of who's going to be getting the save. It is Yamagawa. Mizutani had a single in the first. Has been held off the base path since. Nishiguchi deals. That's going to get the whistles going.
In the chat about the netting, Fjord, last year, Munetaka Murakami almost took my head off with a foul ball that somehow, even though it went over the net, it still had enough on it to dent the seat next to me.
That's the mighty Murakami. Quick out-of-town scoreboard check. Still Orcs Buffaloes 3, Chibalote Marines 1. Bottom of 7th at Kyocera Dome. Not only is Luke Voigt playing, he's actually 2 for 3 today. 2 for 4, sorry. First and fifth. Got an RBI in the first. I was chatting with someone on a podcast back on Friday about what J-Dog and the Eric G were talking about. I feel like there is absolutely a case to be made that NPB could be the top league in the world. Like, everyone's got a favorite NPB team. No blackout streaming definitely helps. Language barrier being weakened definitely helps. And the more good foreign players come over here, the better. I mean, Adam Jones... I mean, the thing is, do players come over here when they're towards the twilight of their career versus when they're in the peak? Fran Mill, I think, is an example of someone who came over at his peak. as Mizutani sends another one foul.
打球の距離にご注意ください。
But I'm thinking of like Lionel Messi going to Miami and MLS and how that drove the fans and how he's still playing really, really well. This isn't like David Beckham to the LA Galaxy sort of thing. Or Sebastian Giovinco to Toronto FC for a local example. Fastball outside makes the count full. All the lights on the scoreboard lit.
Toronto has an MLS team?
They won the MLS Cup in like 2017, yeah.
Huh. Shows how much I know about. I know we have the Union here. That's all I know.
Toronto FC is the name.
Huh.
Fastball swung on and missed by Mizutani. Scoreless inning of work by Nishiguchi. That will bring up the Fighters' closer, Taisei Yanagawa. Sadly, no Miyanishi for Joseph, as much fun as that would be. You see Nabatame also hanging out in the bullpen. Those glasses I can recognize from anywhere. That's true, East Bay. Japan and Cuba get along swimmingly, so players do tend to hop between the two frequently. You can look back at Alfredo de Spine, Yurisbel Gracial, and yes, Moinello and Rydell Martinez.
ファイターズの選手の交代をお知らせします。レフト、水谷に代わりまして、山形が入り、セカンド。セカンド、石井に代わりまして、中島拓也が入り、レフト。ピッチャー、田中誠也に代わりまして、柳川。
Number of defensive substitutions coming here for the Fighters. The hands crew coming out.
39 down left field, number 9, Takuya Nakashima. And pitching for the flight, number 95, Tyson Yamamoto.
See there, 3 saves in 21 games, a 1.37 ERA. Yanagawa took over when Seiji Tanaka hit a rough patch earlier this season, and he's really run with the role. Fastball gets up into the 97 mile per hour range, slider cutter forkball mix. I'm just waiting to see what the other defensive substitutions are. I heard Takuya Nakashima. I just didn't catch if he's going to be taking over in second base or elsewhere. Hideto Asamura limbering up. Future Hall of Famer right there. Luke Voigt as well. Buffalo's tacked on another. So it is Nakashima checking in as the left fielder. And Shu Yamagata taking over at second base for Shun Mizutani. Oh dear, Uetamiya caught that one somewhere sensitive. He needs a moment. Let's see where this one clipped him. Ooh, just off the kneecap protector. Ay, ay, ay. Could have been somewhere a lot worse. Not gonna lie. Fjord Fier Lane, hear me out. Bullpen hyperloops. And I know someone was commenting about Asamura's cheer song being one of the best in Japan. I am agreeing. Swing and a miss. High heat gets the job done. Yanagawa gets his first K of the day.
指名打者ボイト
Luke Voigt. 2 for 4 with an RBI today. Yanagawa goes with the breaking ball, misses low. Still such a small sample size for Voigt, but he's already delivering value to the Eagles. Open question if he's going to stick around next season like Gonzalez will, but I don't think he'd say no.
ファウルボールにご注意ください
Devin, you are correct. They played at what is now known as BMO Field, what used to be Old Exhibition Stadium, aka the Mistake by the Lake. Voigt puts a charge into this one to deep right field. Manami tracking it in the corner and makes the grab in foul territory. Everyone just held their breath a little bit there for the second out of the top of the ninth. Eagles down to their final out.
村林
And it'll be Itsuki Murabayashi. Reached 3 times today and line into a double play. Franmil Reyes. Possibly tonight's hero interview with the Grand Slam. Called strike 1. So they gave Murabayashi a hit on his third, on reaching base back on the top of the third instead of an error. I have corrected my scoreboard. Pierre making a good point. It could be Kiomia with the go-ahead 2-run bomb. Tough call. Fjord, there have been many mistakes by the lake. Candlestick, the Muni. Fastball low. Murabayashi getting motivated. Big cut over a fastball there. Count is full. 2 down. No justice served call here with Yanagawa on the mound. That'll be punched foul. Oh, J-Dog, you're not the only one who dislikes the Carp away jerseys. It's... No, veto. Absolutely do not like. Men in maroon down to their final strike. 7th pitch of the at-bat. Popped out of play. A 128 folks still watching as we creep towards 4 a.m., which is an hour no one should be up at or awake until. Full count. Low, ball 4. Murabayashi reaches again. A 2-out walk. And That brings Oscar Gonzalez to the plate.
Left, Gonzalez.
Oscar Gonzalez already has 2 home runs on the season and has a triple earlier tonight. Nick Leva, broadcast schedule is posted in our community posts here on the Pacific League English YouTube channel. Our next live broadcast is Sunday, August 17th, as the Orcs Buffaloes host the Saitama Seibu Lions. Our final broadcast of the season will be Saturday, September 27th at 5 a.m. Eastern as the Chiba Lotte Marines host the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Gonzalez popped up, playable. Kiomia will end this game with the bat and the glove. Ball game, Fighters. They take the win 8-6.
本日の勝利投手、玉井、西武、柳川でした。
As you just heard, win goes to Taisho Tamai, the save to Yamagata, or Yanagawa, the loss to Ren Kajiya. We're going to keep the stream going for just a little bit longer to allow the hero interview to complete. We won't be able to translate, but you'll be able to see who gets to be the player of the game here at S-Con Field Hokkaido. No games tomorrow, and there'll be Pacific League action once more on Tuesday. Check watchdingo.com or FTF Sports to see when games are available. Mike, any final words?
Great game, and great to be back in the booth with you, just like old times, Gabe.
Absolutely just like old times. On behalf of Jimbo, Matt, Mike, our friends over in Japan keeping an eye on things, and the entire Pacific League TV English crew, thank you for joining us tonight. Sweet dreams, everyone.
Looking back at yesterday, I thought I gave it everything, but still there's so much road ahead of me. Sometimes it's hard to find yourself, but it's worth it in the end. 'Cause in your heart is where it all begins. We gotta be bold, we gotta be brave, we gotta be free. We gotta get loud, making that change. You gotta believe. We're
それでは本日のヒーローの登場です。本日のヒーローは
エスコンフィールド北海道にお越しの、そして各メディアでお楽しみのファイターズファンの皆さん、ヒーローインタビューです。今日のヒーローはもちろんこの人、7回決勝勝ち越しのツーランホームラン、清宮幸太郎選手です。ナイスバッティングでした。
ありがとうございます。
両チーム今日は点の取り合いでしたが、同点の7回、どんな気持ちで打席に入ったんでしょうか。
いやもう、はい、立つに本当申し訳ないプレーを2回にしてしまって、回3点入っちゃったんで、もう本当に頼むから絶対取り返そうと思ってプレーしてました。
カウントかさんでからの一発でしたが、狙ってましたか。
いやー、たまたまです
打球はライトスタンドに吸い込まれましたけども、感触はどうでしたか。
いや本当久々にいい感触というか、今年エスコン1号なんで、はい、本当にやっと出たなっていう感じでした。
ご自身の口からもありましたが、今シーズンの6本目が本拠地の初アーチ、待ってました。
いやお待たせしました。
今も大きな拍手が起こってますけども、今日も3万人を超えるファンの歓声、そして拍手、やはり特別ですか。
やっぱエスコンのホームランが一番気持ちいいです。はい。
今日レイエス選手にも一発出ましたが、チームホームランの数もファイターズ73本になりました。首位を守るファイターズの夏の戦いもこの後期待していいですか。
いやもっともっと打ちまくります。
清宮選手自身も昨年7月8月3割超え、もう夏男見せてくれますよね。
いやまだまだ物足りないと思うんで、はい、正真正銘の夏男になれるように今年頑張ります。
さあ、清宮選手の決勝の一打もあり、このカードチームは3連勝です。最後に首位を守り抜いて大航海を終えるため、ファンの士気を高めていただけますか。
はい、すごい混戦になってますけど、この混戦も皆さんと楽しめば確実に乗り越えられると思うので、皆さん一緒に戦っていきましょう。よろしくお願いします。
楽しんでいきましょう。力強いお言葉ありがとうございました。今日のヒーロー、清宮幸太郎選手でした。
ありがとうございました。
本日のヒーロー清宮選手が場内に集します。ぜひ皆さんご自身の席から名前とったら大きな拍手そして声援を清宮選手に届けてください。
to 100 fast. My foot ain't touched the gas. I said, hey baby, slow it down, let's make it last. You said, where's the fun in that? Yeah, let's go put some miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck, man, ride like a California king. We could break it in if you know what I mean. Put some miles on it. We could break it in if you know what I mean. Put some miles on it. We could break it in if you know what I mean. Mile after mile after mile after mile. Turn up the night like that radio dial. Shoulder to shoulder when nobody knows. Know where we're going, we ain't going on. We're putting miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck.